your future today.
Well, welcome back, everybody. You see a great crowd here at Decatur High School. We're getting ready for our Hall of Fame game on the drive for the GHSA state title. Brandon Adams, Rusty Mansell. We'll also see our coin toss here, presented by R.S. Andrews. Woodward Academy, they're in red. White jerseys, the black pants. On the other side, the homestand in Decatur Bulldogs. They are in their blue, 8-0 on the season. You see the conversation taking place. That coin toss taking place a moment ago. And obviously, we'll give you our weather report here as well. Brought to you by Personal Touch Lawn Care. Perfect night tonight, 74 degrees. Wind, very little in the way of that. It's a clear sky. We're high atop the stadium here at Decatur. We got a beautiful view, and it is a beautiful night. Glad to have all of you with us as Aiden Hovatter gets ready to kick things off for Decatur. Throughout the night, we'll be showcasing some of our Georgia High School Football Hall of Famers there as well, and we are underway from Decatur tonight on the drive for the GHSA state title. Presented by GeorgiaConstructionCareers.com. Big return to begin the game across midfield and down the sideline. Still moving all the way to the end zone. It's going to be a touchdown. Woodward Academy strikes quick. It's Josiah Abdullah. We told you about him in the opening, and he takes the opening kickoff all the way back to the house.
We talked about how explosive he is. It seems like he's been here for 10 years. And I was like, wait a minute, they're going to kick to him. Watch him hit this hole and watch him hit this gear. We already given him electrifying play of the half on the first play of the game. But, man, he got off that last defender, and look at that separation speed for the Virginia commit. Takes it to the house to open the scoring tonight.
England and Stubbs brings it to you. It is our electrifying play of the half, as Rusty said, right out of the box. Flag does come in on the PAT, but be careful with Abdullah.
Illegal substitution. Defense. Had the distance of the goal. We try to kick.
Hovatter, the kicker for Decatur, has the capability of touchbacks. In fact, Decatur is one of the better special teams unit probably in the entire state when you combine both kicker and punter. As we see our Governor's Office of Highway Safety officials, Yasarian Tomlinson's our referee, Dorwin Lyles, a part of the officiating group there. But Hovatter had 21 touchbacks coming into tonight, so he can kick it into the end zone. That time he just didn't, and Abdullah made him pay.
Yeah, the coaches are trying to tell him, we have got to get that to the end zone.
Sophomore Afton Rolls will try his PAT. He's been perfect all year long. Now 27 of 27 on the year. And, man, just like that, as quickly as you can blink, Woodward Academy has struck in the special teams. Let's get a chance to see it again, just the speed of Abdullah.
Watch this last gear here. Watch him get off this block. Watch him push off this defender right here, and look at that separation gear. That's what you want. Give him a seam, and he's gone.
That moment probably highlights what's going to, I think, be an interesting contrast in tonight's game. Decatur has a small roster, but big players. Woodward Academy has more players, probably more college-level athletes, if you want to describe it that way, but they're not as big up front. So this is going to be a true, kind of contrast in styles. Big lines, offensive and defense for Decatur. Kind of some exciting skill position players for Woodward Academy. And as we said during the open, what's funny about that is it's almost a total reinvention from the Woodward team that made the state championship in 6A a year ago, led by defense and a lot of running game.
Yeah, I mean, they listen, great coaches kind of adapt to what you have. This is what they have this year.
Rolls will now kick it. It's going to be short, returnable by an up man, picked up there at the 20-yard line. Trying to fire up, and now does cross the 30, up around the 33, 34-yard line. We'll see Decatur and its starters on offense here. First look coming up at our quarterback, Baron Scott, a guy in his second year starting. They've got a pair of running backs we're going to see a lot. Darius White, you see him on the screen. He's just a sophomore. But Tim Britt will be heavily involved, too. Also, keep your eye on number 23, Cameron Frazier, not listed as a starter, but essentially the leading receiver for this Decatur team. That'll be a big part of the passing attack when Scott does throw it. They are also big across that front with the offensive line. In motion is Britt. That's a running back. They'll have two backs in the game a lot. And on first down, it's a carry going to White, and then a flag comes in right away, too.
Where that was thrown, usually.
It's actually Landon Lockhart.
It might have been a face mask.
Personal foul. face mask on the defense. 15-yard penalty, add to the end of the run, first down.
So good spot by Rusty there to recognize that penalty, then he'll tack on yardage here. So Decatur gets a break after giving up the big play special teams, and all of a sudden they find themselves inside War Eagle territory with the ball resting on the 49-yard line.
Sophomore running back Darius White, number 4, is in the game. A lot of buzz around him in that 2027 class.
For now, though, Woodward content to keep 2 safeties back. We'll watch if they creep up towards the line of scrimmage. The other back, Britt, goes in motion. The pitch goes to White. He may have gotten a yard, although perhaps not. And now we'll get a chance to see the Woodward Academy starters on defense. Impressive group here. Obviously, the back end, probably where a lot of the strength is. R.J. Harrison, that's a guy that's got major college offers. Jerome Bettis Jr., more of a wide receiver, but he'll play big in that secondary. Now throwing, that's a pass complete, and then out of bounds at the 41-yard line. And Tim Britt, the running back, there to catch that, although he'll line up like a receiver a lot here this evening, as he did right there.
Long throw across the field. Had enough to get it there. Picked up some yards to make this a much more manageable 2nd down and 10.
Scott, the quarterback, the hard count, almost drew Woodward Academy off, but they were able to get back. Looking at a 3rd and short here now.
Going to move his running back. Got tripped to the top.
Going to give it to White. White tries to scoot free, and he will. Finding his way to the 36 and a first down.
And he got a lot of that on his own. They tried to go counter, and Woodward blew it up. Had him pinned in the backfield. He just runs through an arm tackle. Watch how quick they get on him. Right there, got him twice, runs through both those arm tackles, runs through a couple of Woodward defenders, moves the chain, sophomore running back.
111 carries, 865 yards on the season coming in tonight to give you an idea of how successful he's been. Now Barron Scott going to keep it himself and get to the 30-yard line. He picked up like 8 there.
And they got tight splits with their offensive line. They're almost shoot. That time is designed quarterback run. And what I was impressed with there is watch the sophomore running back, Darius White. He's going to lead. Watch him come up on the safety. Gets a hit just enough to give his quarterback some room.
They're going to say down to the 31, so not quite
6.
as, got 6 there. Through the hands of his intended target, Christian Jamison. A little high for Jamison. Got a hand on it, but still a little high. Now that'll bring 3rd down coming up.
Yeah, just a little bit high there, and maybe a ball you want to catch, but it's easier said than done when you know you're staring down 3 defensive backs in your area.
3rd down again. 3 receivers left side. 1 off to the right.
Really tight split.
Yeah, White, the running back, also going to go in motion as a receiver. It's going to be wide open and incomplete. Blake Stewart had the coverage, but White was there. Perhaps just a tiny misfire prevented that from being a completion. What would have been a first down and a chance at a whole lot more.
And they get a wheel route out of the backfield to the running back. Everybody in America runs that, and he's just unable to drop it in front of that safety. Good play design. It was there. Just got to hit him. But you talked about special teams, and they're going to try a long one right here, it looks like. And the kicker doesn't say they don't have enough out there.
Yeah, so it's Abel Florence who's going to come in and try the kick.
11 seconds on the play clock.
William Felton, the Decatur coach, says they have a competition Thursday each week, and between Florence and Hovatter, that's who gets a chance to be the kicker. This kick is blocked. And Woodward's going to get off the field with no points allowed. So Abel Florence, the senior, comes in to try the field goal, and a Woodward player got a hand on it, and it was blocked.
Yeah, 2 special teams plays so far, Brandon. A return for a kickoff. Watch him come off the edge. I believe the kicker just took a little bit, an extra step to me. It looked a little bit long for that.
It was Blake Stewart, the junior, who got the block.
Talk about special teams. See him kind of hesitate there. It took a second to get there, and that's all you really need with a guy coming off that is picture perfect layout. You don't lay out toward the holder. You come across the front. Great block there for Woodward.
We'll see Stewart on both sides of the ball tonight. He also made a big impact on special teams. First time now to see a play from scrimmage for Woodward Academy offensively. Rare running play for them, too, goes to Josh Isom, but the big Decatur front was there to meet him. starters for Woodward Academy on offense. Landon Walker, the quarterback, that's a Duke commit. He's also the leading rusher for this team. Josiah Abdullah, we told you about in the open, going to Virginia. Jerome Bettis Jr., the son of the former Pittsburgh Steeler, he's going to Notre Dame, the same place his father went as well. Only one returning starter on that offensive line coming back for this year. That's Johnny Okolo. A lot of young guys there other than that.
Landon Walker, Navy commit.
Yeah, what did I say?
Duke.
Duke, yeah, excuse me. Navy commit.
We got a lot of good schools tonight.
Yeah, Navy commit for Walker. Let's make sure we get that correct. By the way, big day for Navy tomorrow.
I believe.
Against Notre Dame.
Oh, wow. In MetLife, too.
Walker going to dump this off to Isom. Driven out of bounds by Ronan Sims. Yeah, Walker really was, as you see the Decatur offense here defensively. Quay Wood has had an outstanding year up front in the defensive line. Ethan Johnson's a linebacker to watch for. They call him the Terminator. And then we told you about Lanier in the open, the Duke commit. That he is going to Duke.
Yes.
But his partner back there in the defensive secondary, Bryson Randolph, the other cornerbacks, had a really good year too. So both these secondaries tonight really, really good, which should make for a very fun matchup.
Quay Hood, a lot of tackles for loss. He's got a Western Kentucky offer, number one. Defensive lineman, see his hand down there at the top of the line of scrimmage.
Zayden Young goes in motion. Walker looking to throw. He's not going to be able to. He's going to be brought down on a sack right away. There to bring him down. Alex Sauter, his 5th of the season.
Nice job there by 44, just winning his one-on-one. He comes from the inside, gets off block, chases the quarterback down as he steps up in the pocket. Good job.
You talked to John Hunt during the week. He's concerned about the Decatur size. Obviously, there's a lot to like about what Woodward Academy brings to the table, but size-wise, the advantage up front, both lines, probably rests with Decatur in this game. So says Woodward Academy. Walker going to try to make something happen with his legs. Going to be surrounded right away and going to be brought down once again. Swarming to the football is Woodward Academy.
Yeah, right now Decatur's just getting there. They brought an extra backer. They bring 22 right here, but they still just win battles up front. See them getting off blocks. 22 actually comes up, makes that tackle.
That's the junior Nicholas Nathaniel. Now it's 3rd and very long here for Woodward Academy. They lead 7-0, but in danger of seeing this drive stall. There's a deep safety. Other defensive backs creep near the line of scrimmage. Decatur shows pressure. Walker going to be hit as he throws again, and the ball is free.
Hood, number one.
Quay Hood got to the quarterback again. And this Decatur pass rush is vicious on the opening sequence.
Yeah, they had problems with that line. And that was nothing crazy. That's just winning one-on-ones and getting home.
Jersharius Lawrence will be the punt returner. Jackson Smith, interesting story. He's the Woodward Academy punter. This is his first year playing football, and he's a senior. Been a soccer player, wanted to give football a try. And he'll get a kick away. Lawrence will let it bounce. Now has to let it roll, and it takes a War Eagle roll inside the 30, finally down at the 28-yard line. So pretty good flip of the field after the stall drive. And that's where Decatur will be back on offense again, trailing 7-0. We'll take a quick timeout, and we'll be right back here on High School Football Hall of Fame Weekend.
Did you know that Ingles sells more organics than any other store? Or that they run their own dairy? Or that they only serve USDA choice and prime meat? Did you know that they have more local craft beer than any place else? Or that they have Energy Smart stores? Or that they professionally slice and package imported cheese from Europe? Did you know about their giant international aisle, local farm partnerships, curbside pickup, wine department? Or that they donate 3,956 meals a day to local food banks? Well, now you do. It's all in the bag. Ingles, low prices, love the savings.
When looking at your meal, you must always make sure there's enough sauce for every single bite.
Now at McDonald's, buy one, get one for $1. Choose from a double cheeseburger, 6-piece chicken McNuggets, or small fries.
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
We need some help. I know. I'm going to CashNetUSA.com. And if approved, we can have the money in our account as soon as the same business day.
Go to CashNetUSA.com to apply for the money you need.
I take caring for my kitty very seriously. So when I found a health monitoring kitty litter, I had to meet the creator.
Oh, hi, kitten.
Please, I told you to call me Martha. This litter seriously stops odors, and it changes colors.
Smart and pretty, you could say.
You're going to make me blush. I love that it's lightweight, low dust, and delivers right to my doorstep.
Try it today. Go to prettylitter.com.
All right, welcome back, everybody. Woodward Academy leads 7-0, scoring a touchdown in the game's opening kickoff. Both defenses have looked strong since then, though. Bulldogs now back offensively after a couple of sacks on their last defensive sequence. And here, Baron Scott going to keep it himself, going to run the quarterback, getting up to the 35-yard line, picked up, actually going to say no, down around the 33. So got about 5 on that play. Second 5 now coming up for the Bulldogs.
Decatur might be pushing for best student section of the year so far.
Yeah, they got a big crowd here tonight.
Deep over there. I'm telling you, they showed up tonight for this undefeated football team.
5 minutes to go, first quarter play. Pitch, and almost a dangerous one. Jasharius Lawrence had to reach his hand back to kind of pull that down. Otherwise, that could have gotten a little risky.
Yeah, and lost yardage, I believe, on that. That was very dangerous.
One of the things that Decatur will do offensively, and you're seeing this even right now, you'll see Darius White. He wears number 4. He's going to be lined up as a slot receiver on the right side of the formation. So they're moving backs around, making them receivers. Both of their backs in the game frequently together. Pressure now coming on Scott. Scott going to have to keep it, and he's going to be close, but I believe a little bit short of the line to gain.
Yeah, they spot that. They're telling him to get on. They're telling him to get on the ball. It's going to be
about a yard short, right, Russ?
Yeah, I think so. So he's got a good little gear when he gets out, though.
Yeah, he does. 41 carries on the season coming in tonight for 218 yards, 3 rushing touchdowns. Probably less accomplished of a runner than his counterpart on the other side, Walker, but showing his capabilities there. And as Rusty said, quickly coming back to the line to perhaps go for it here on 4th down, too.
See if they try to get him to jump off sides.
3 receivers right side if they do run it. Play clock says 15. Woodward Academy obviously wary of the situation. They will now go for it from the shotgun, trying to get it, and he won't.
No, I don't think he got it at all.
Not close, going to lose yardage.
Wow.
Chandler Bell, the linebacker, one of the first men through there. The sophomore having a great season. Let's see what happens here.
57 just gets off his block. Good job. Just got upfield and got off his block.
It's what football is now. That's going to drive the old school guys crazy, though. Direct snap like that on shotgun on 4th down. All right, we'll be right back after this.
A journeyman with Local 85, when you turn out, you can be hitting 6 figures.
Hey, I have your back, you have my back. We're going to do this together. We're one for all for one.
College just wasn't for me. Let's look into actual career jobs that wouldn't take college, where I wouldn't, lose money and all that. Instead of losing a lot more money at the end, why not make money and make more money at the end?
Are you interested in becoming a deputy or a jailer? The Gwinnett County Sheriff's Office is hiring and looking for individuals passionate about protecting and serving their community. If you are 18 years or older, join our team by visiting gogcso.com for more information. Gwinnett County, together we can make a difference.
Nobody wants to hear the word roaches, because who wants to admit they have roaches?
I actually found some weird roaches. I didn't know what they were. I decided to choose Breda. I reached out to them. They check in routinely. They're explaining what they're doing, so there's a lot of clarity in the process as well. I think that just speaks to the level of safety that I feel with the organization.
The facts are, roaches are everywhere in our environment. So what are you doing to keep them out of your home?
Breda, no need to be afraid of bugs. Struggling with food insecurity can feel lonely, yet every community across America is affected by hunger, which is why our Kroger associates work together to rescue nutritious food that would otherwise go to waste in an effort to donate 3 billion meals by 2025. Because we believe everyone should have access to fresh, delicious food. Join the Kroger Zero Hunger, Zero Waste Foundation to defeat hunger and eliminate food waste.
I've used R.S. Andrews 15 years, purchased 2 heating and air systems, so I rely on their technicians for service. I call, they come, it's fixed. And I appreciate Andrews' commitment. He gives it his all. That's how R.S. Andrews makes me smile.
Yikey wawa! Running out of hot water is one way your water heater cries out for help. Call R.S. Andrews. Get a water heater rejuvenation. Your water heater gets added life, you get more hot water. Another way R.S. Andrews makes you smile today.
The GeorgiaConstructionCareers.com drive for the GHSA state title is sponsored by the International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers, Local 613. Electrify your career. The Gwinnett County Sheriff's Office. Serve and protect through dedication, professionalism, and active cooperation with the community. Kroger. Boost by Kroger Plus. More savings, more benefits, a new level of membership. Gatorade. Fuel tomorrow. And by Score Atlanta, your source for Georgia high school sports.
Welcome back, everybody. William Felton, the Decatur coach, became the first of our coaches tonight's game to roll the dice, going for it on 4th down a moment ago from shotgun, which is what the modern game is, although that drives the old school guys crazy. Did not get it. And now Woodward Academy has great field position inside the Decatur 40 to begin the drive. Walker going to throw, hit again, into coverage, a fight for the football, and the ball is free. Is that a catch and a fumble? I believe the are going to say it is. The catch made by Blake Stewart, the junior, who blocked the field goal earlier. Then recovered, I believe, by Zayden Young.
I thought they had the sack. Watch number 1 come off the edge again. Hood makes the hit. Then the DB and wide receiver fight over it. I don't know that actually ever had possession, but we don't have instant replay. And watch how fast Hood gets on him.
Yeah, we were told be wary of Quay Hood tonight as a guy that's going to play as good a defensive line as we're going to see, by the way, in the red zone now, brought to you by IBEW Local 613. He's been as advertised so far. Walker will throw again. Now going to have to run, and I almost thought he was past the line of scrimmage. Apparently not, though. That's just incomplete. So he's a threat to throw on the run at any point in time, as he showed there, the Navy commit. So to go back to what we were saying a moment ago, so Hood gets after Walker, not a sack.
Yes.
And then, as you're going to see, this incompletion again.
And Hood is the one that flushed him out of the pocket again. And this time he came up the middle. You know, he's showing his entire path. Look at number 1 up top here.
And on the previous catch, you know, it certainly seemed like, you know, very tight replay. Obviously, the officials don't have the benefit of that. That perhaps Stewart got away with one.
Yep. Don't believe he ever had possession.
Walker now throwing towards the end zone. The intended target at that time was Jerome Bettis Jr.
I can tell you right now, they're having fits with Decatur's front 4. I mean, they're not doing anything other than these 4 guys are winning up front. And they're having problems getting any type of time for their quarterback to scan the field. Walker is having to turn it loose quick as he can.
One of the things you'll also notice about Walker, while he's had a great year, it's a little bit of an unconventional throwing motion, totally acknowledged by everybody around the program. Gets the job done, but you'll notice it doesn't always look exactly like you might see from some other quarterbacks.
Yeah, a little long, but
3rd down now quickly. Ball rests at the 17. They need a full 10 here. Walker takes the snap from shotgun, has time now. Will throw towards the end zone. Zayden Young was the intended target. That's over his head and incomplete.
That time he had good protection. Good job by the offensive line on 3rd and 10. It takes a little longer for the play to develop, and you let your guys get down the field. But Decatur with good coverage and left him a really tight window to try to complete anything. Decatur, watch the offensive line here. Twist stunt, pick it up. Good job by the guard. Plenty of time. But because of the tight coverage, he was trying to drop it in over 16. Not enough room. Woodward tries a field goal now.
Afton Roll, sophomore kicker, 34-yard attempt for him. He's 3 of 7 on the year from field goals, this well within his range. They try to come in, and they get a block. So Decatur comes in. Now it gets a block. Both sides trading blocks.
Boy, they are hot. Woodward is hot. They are all over. They think he was offsides.
It certainly is very close. Boy, man, is it close.
Man, they are hot.
You know,
see here, we got a replay.
Yeah, let's watch here.
Couldn't tell from the snap, but he was in there quick.
He either had the snap count as timed as any human being's ever had a snap count time.
No doubt about it.
I will admit that I was about to pause because I thought it might be offsides, but apparently he just had it very well timed. We'll see our Decatur resume here, brought to you by Smart Local 85. William Felton, of course, doing a great job with this program. They won the region a couple of years ago. By the way, how about Alan Chadwick being a graduate of Decatur High School?
How about that?
That's really, I didn't know that. That's really cool. Yeah, that's really fun. And obviously a couple of guys who played some college football there, too. And state championships going back to back, 1949 and 1950.
What a great setting here. They got apartments behind it with a balcony. You can watch high school football on Friday night.
This is a city school, a little bit reminiscent of like what a Carrollton or a Gainesville or a Buford might be. What's interesting about the city of Decatur, it's only 4 square miles. Yeah. So this is a very intimate setting for high school football. Very, obviously, big population, but small geographic area where Decatur High School is located. It's a beautiful venue for us watching. My first time being here, and it's really fun. Scott trying to set up, trying to get his running back wide that time, trying to set up the screen, recognizing, as Rusty said, a blitz coming.
Eli Lyles made a heck of a play. Watch him blitz off the top and see the back cross his face. Watch, he's like, oh, no, I got to cover. Great job by stopping there because they threw into the blitz. He read a running back crossing his face. He turns right back around and gets in coverage. Man, his coach is going to love that play from a sophomore.
Yeah, impressive by Lyles. Landon Lockhart Keener goes in motion. White gets the handoff and got knocked into in the back. I don't know if he may have run into his own guys there.
57 again. Getting up the field for Woodward Academy.
Yeah, Okolo, I mentioned him being the only returning starter on both the offense and the defensive line, as amazing as that is.
When you look at special teams, we've had a field goal blocked. We've had one missed. We've had a kick return for a touchdown. 4 big plays already in this game.
Be careful here. Both Stewart and Abdullah, they are both electrifying athletes. They're back to receive this. Although Evan Fisher may be about the best punter you're going to see. Not his best punt here. Flag coming in, then Stewart calls the fair catch. Let's see what the penalty is going to be. 7-0 is our score. Woodward scored in an opening kickoff. We'll see our Breda Pest Management score ticker rolling throughout the night here.
Big games tonight. Athens Academy, Raven County, almost for the region championship. You see Ware County and Warner Robins. That's a huge game down in South Georgia. Benedictine, quarterback, unfortunately, down for the year.
Is that right?
They have had some issues. Hiram and Cartersville is for that region championship if Hiram wins tonight.
Holding. Receiving team. 10-yard penalty from the end of the kick. First down.
So back up Woodward on the hold on the punt. Now they'll be beginning scrimmage at the 19 here. 90 seconds, just less than, in our first quarter.
I still love the 2 deep return guys. Put so much pressure on you to kick and cover. Love the 2 deep return guys.
Yeah, that'll be an interesting thing to watch the next time because Fisher, the Decatur punter, is an outstanding year. Isom sits to the left now of Walker. And then
nice run.
Yeah,
nice
beautiful
design.
run.
Yes.
Crossing the 35-yard line. Landon Walker looking good with his legs and looking every bit the part of a future Naval Academy quarterback there.
Not saying I was right, but longtime high school football great. One of the best humans in the world, Dave Hunter, just texted me and said, you always go under center on 4th and 1.
There you go.
Coach Hunter, I agree with you, buddy. It takes too long to get the snap.
Yeah, especially on a weekend like this. You're talking about the Georgia High School Football Hall of Fame weekend. This is a celebration of the history of our sport.
Doubt,
of course, Coach Hunter is a huge part of that.
Love you, Coach. Miss you. Can't wait to see you tomorrow night at College Football Hall of Fame.
Haven't called Jerome Bettis' name yet. He's the receiver on the left side of this formation. Let's see if they look that way here. They will. Walker will. Now he'll have to run it, though. He'll get out of bounds at the 38-yard line. He's got about 5 that time.
And I like this out of him. It's not there. He feels the pressure from his right side. Look, take off, get what you can get. Now you get a 2nd and 5. Much more, everything in the playbook's there at 2nd and 5.
Yeah, John Hunt said, listen, beginning of the season, when they're placing like the Carrolltons and the Collins Hills, who's obviously had a very good year, and Maris, he says, Walker really carried us during that portion of the season.
Kudos to Woodward for playing those teams.
4 across here now for Decatur defensively. Walker going to fake a handoff now, keep it, first down yardage, and diving to the 48-yard line, about 10 on the play. Walker pretty heads up to get the first down.
What I like about this series in particular, Brandon, they're attacking north and south with their quarterback in the run game. He's not dropped back. They're not trying to block that front forward. They're trying to go at him, and so far they found some success in the quarterback run game.
You keep in mind, this is a smallish, youngish offensive line for Woodward Academy. They're starting a sophomore, really 2 sophomores, 2 juniors to go along with 1 lone senior, to give you the idea. Bettis now moves to the right side of the formation, all the way on the other side of the number.
Tight end at the bottom's attached.
Going to throw to Abdullah. He's going to catch it behind the line of scrimmage. Going to be wrapped up right away. Beautiful job defensively to come over and make a tackle. Impressive there by Caleb Lanier, the Duke commit.
That is ACC on ACC right there. That is Duke making a tackle on a Virginia commit. Fighting through the block and getting him to the ground. Great job, because Abdullah out in space is dangerous.
I love that battle, man. This secondary for Decatur against these Woodward wide receivers, that's going to be fun. A lot of plays in space. We're going to see a really fun battle with that group against each other all night tonight. And with that, our first quarter has come to a close. It is 7-0. We've seen some haymakers kind of thrown on both sides. It's our Georgia High School Football Hall of Fame weekend. We'll be celebrating a big weekend for us, including an induction ceremony tomorrow all throughout the night. And
your home for live local high school football is Peachtree Sports Network. Don't miss the action every Friday night, only on PSN. Over the air on 17.2, on cable, and streaming on YouTube TV and Fubo. High school football on PSN is sponsored by McDonald's.
Nearly 1 in 4 U.S. consumers have been a victim of identity theft, even when they did all the right things to protect their personal information.
I did everything right, but an institution that had my data didn't. And now my identity's been stolen.
Banks, hospitals, employers, and other institutions all have your personal information too. And when they're exposed, careful monitoring of your accounts and credit won't be enough.
$110,000 of my hard-earned money gone.
The stakes are high, and even if you take steps to protect your personal information, you're not the only one who has it. Only LifeLock monitors hundreds of millions of data points every second, alerting you to the widest volume of threats. And if you become a victim, a dedicated U.S.-based identity restoration specialist will fix it guaranteed. Plus, all LifeLock members are backed by the LifeLock $1 Million Protection Package, including reimbursement for stolen funds. Call now or go online and use promo code 35TV to save 35% off an annual plan for your first year.
What is GMFB overtime?
It's this, that, and a whole lot of 5 days a week.
Let's go. Here we go.
It's football for everyone.
Weekdays at 10 on Peachtree Sports Network.
All right, welcome back, everybody. You see a handful of our Georgia High School Football Hall of Fame inductees. We're having the ceremony tomorrow. Leonard Pope, the former Georgia Bulldog, Alec Ogletree, David Rocker, obviously a great former Auburn Tiger as well. Family representing Frank Broyles, the Arkansas legend, who's also a graduate of Decatur High School, no longer with us, of course, but being represented here as a part of this third induction class. What a great event tomorrow is going to be, and great to have some of those folks with us.
How about Leonard Pope right there?
Still in great shape. Yeah, I mean, still in great shape.
I mean, you think Georgia would want him right now? 6'8".
I tell you what, man, that's impressive.
Do some things with him.
Looking forward to being with him and so many others tomorrow night there at the College Football Hall of Fame for the High School Football Hall of Fame induction ceremony. There's the throw and catch. Abdullah's got it, and he's still on his feet down to the 30-yard line. 16 yards on the reception.
Just enough time for him to get this off. You see him look the safety off, comes back and throws a dart into a window on the backside to Abdullah. But that play was made by the quarterback looking that safety off, creating that window. He knew exactly where he was going with that football.
Abdullah is having a very big year. Coming in tonight, 30 receptions, more than 600 yards receiving. Guy who's really kind of been around the Woodward program since he was like 5-6 years old. His uncle Ryan Davis is one of the defensive coaches. You see Decatur bringing a lot of bodies up to the line defensively. Coming after Walker. Walker going to get away. It's going to be a pass. Caught.
He's still going.
Still on his feet. Crossing the 25-yard line. That's Allen Pickens. First catch of the night for the tight end Pickens.
Just runs through a couple of arm tackles. Didn't want to go down. Big man there making the most of his touch.
Kind of a heads-up play for Walker to even have time to make a completion there because they were bringing the house on him.
And he's had some guys in his face tonight.
Got 7. That'll make it 2nd and 3. Three receivers off to the right. The back lines up behind Walker. That's Isom now to his left. One deep safety for Decatur. Low snap. Walker will throw. It's a strike inside the 10-yard line and down around the 5. That's Blake Stewart. Stewart's a big-time college prospect. Did not play last year. Was ineligible at Woodward Academy, but has been, as John Hunt has said, a real pleasant surprise for the War Eagles here this season.
Yeah, got Georgia, Georgia Tech, Texas A&M, and Florida early offers. He's got that. He's got a list. A lot of people like him at cornerback.
Okay.
Yep. But you love to see those guys playing both ways.
Isom moves to the left again.
One-on-one at the top.
Going to hand to Isom. Isom fights his way maybe to the 4, maybe got a couple.
I tell you, if they give them that look again, they're going to throw the ball because they were one-on-one with everybody, and they had every single person in the box. No safety in the middle of the field, just straight cover 0, stacking the box. And let's see if Woodward tries to run something here, maybe a quick slant. He can beat somebody off the line, or maybe a fade route, because you're going to have one-on-one on all 3 spots right here.
Abdullah the far left. Stewart, who made the reception a moment ago, he's the slot. It's Bettis on the right side if you want to put some names to all of this. Goal to go here on 2nd down. It'll be Walker himself keeping it, fighting for the end zone. He'll get there for a touchdown. Spread him out wide, find a vulnerability, and take it straight to the house.
You just go quarterback power, and with your lead running back as a blocker. Nice drive by Woodward. And I tell you, their quarterback, that's the best drive of the night for him so far.
Yeah, sharp on that for sure, and Woodward Academy extends its lead.
Good job by 21 blocking the linebacker there. And once you get a body on that backer, there was nobody else to contain.
And so now Woodward Academy looking to take a 14-0 lead on the foot of Afton Rolls here. Flag comes in again. We've had a couple special teams penalties tonight. And
false start, kicking team. 5-yard penalty. Replay the down.
And Rusty, I want to go back to something you said a little earlier because we visually have seen this. It's been obvious that the Decatur defensive front has caused Woodward Academy some problems, and yet through play calling, they've almost negated that advantage somewhat.
Went north-south. They've went right at them. They have tried to negate that pass rush and the ability to block them in pass setting. They've got their pads low, came off the ball, and they've used the legs of their quarterback to run right at them. And that's when you start talking about adjustments. If we can't pass block them, let's see if we can run right at them. And that drive in particular, Woodward went straight at Decatur.
Back up Rolls again. He'll try the PAT from 5 yards farther back. No issue for him.
He's on the roof.
Yeah, he's kicked the thing into the Decatur night here. And it's 14-0. Woodward leads. We're early second quarter here on the Peachtree Sports Network.
Hey, does it matter if this leaks?
It don't matter to me. Can't sit from my house.
Illegal use of hands and proper training.
GeorgiaConstructionCareers.com has 14 different highly skilled trades with tuition-free training in our certified apprenticeship programs to train you the right way. Find your career at GeorgiaConstructionCareers.com.
What happens after you graduate? Will you go to the next level? Will people have your back in the heat of the battle? Will you still train like a champion in pursuit of greatness? You will when you become an IBEW electrician. Join our team. Visit IBEW613.org.
Deep shot from London. He makes the catch. The shot for Pierce, and who else but Jesse Bates? Moore fires through. Touchdown Atlanta. That goes nowhere. Find the pylon for the Atlanta touchdown. Sacked for the end zone. And touchdown Atlanta. What a throw.
Great teams are committed, focused on the details, and work hard to be their best. From practice to games, right down to their gear. Your field is a critical part of the game that allows your athletes to showcase their abilities. Sports Turf is committed to bringing your team innovative sports surfaces with unparalleled performance. You bring the vision, our team brings it to life.
For a healthier future together, look to Northside Hospital.
The GeorgiaConstructionCareers.com drive for the GHSA state title is sponsored by Sports Turf. You bring the vision, we'll bring it to life. Deer Park. Visit DeerParkWater.com to nominate your team for the Deer Park Team of the Week all season long. The Georgia Army National Guard. Live here, serve here, work here. Smart Local 85. Sheet metal is a smart move. And by the Governor's Office of Highway Safety. Seatbelts save lives. The Governor's Office of Highway Safety reminds you to buckle up before every trip.
Welcome back, everybody. Woodward Academy leads 14-0, and now going to kick it back off here. 8:51 to go, second quarter of play. Of course, we've got a great football game here, but it's also a wonderful night for us. As you see, Lawrence going to field the kick inside the 5. Going to try to run left side, gets a block. We've seen big special teams plays tonight. Ball came loose at the end, and it's a still live football. Heads up play there by a Decatur man to pick up that ball. That was Jordan Brown, a senior, who scooped it up. And so another exciting play on special teams. This after Woodward took the opening kickoff.
You can't take a
game
play
back
off
for a touchdown.
And Abdullah's the one that knocked the ball out.
So you got a lot of guys playing on both sides here.
Yep.
Now, in addition to a good football game tonight, it's also a special weekend for us. Our Georgia High School Football Hall of Fame induction ceremonies tomorrow. A couple of guys who will be going in. Great former Dogs in addition to tremendous high school careers. Kaylee Manziel standing by right now with Leonard Pope and Alec Ogletree. Kaylee, take it away.
Thanks, Brandon. Along with a pair of our new inductees into the Georgia High School Football Hall of Fame. I guess you could also call them both DGDs. What an honor it is to be able to sit with both of you. Alec, I want to start with you first. In looking at your career at Noonan, you came into a high school that had a losing record, and you left with a team that had only lost a few games. What was it like seeing the success of your school happen so rapidly in your 4 years there?
It was a great feeling to be a part of something like that. And it's just a tribute to all the hard work that all of us put in. When I came in, like you said, I came in as a freshman on the varsity team, so I kind of saw what was leaving, and then, I knew the class, myself and, the guys coming behind me, what we wanted to accomplish. So it was definitely fun to, be out there playing and turn the program around like that for sure.
And Leonard, while you were at Americus, you were a part of a back-to-back state championship teams, which I feel like at that time was so ahead of its time. You see that a lot more now than you did then. When you think back to those 2 years, what's that one game that you'll never forget?
Well, yeah, you're right. We did have back-to-back state championships, 2000 and 2001, and our first one was in the middle of a tornado. It actually touched down right outside of town, and they had to stop the game for a little while. And I think we was playing Washington Wilkes, and that game was a lot of rain, and it was very, very cold. But that was an amazing game because one, we finally came from the dome and brought it back home, and we knew that we just needed to make sure that we got that win against them. So I would say the first state championship.
Yeah, I mean, that's the perfect example of the show must go on. Right?
Yes.
All right, Alex, so in high school you played tight end and safety, but then when you got to college you played linebacker. What was it like making that transition?
I mean, it was a transition. It was kind of tough, but kind of easy. I felt like I was just still an athlete. Like I went to high school to play wide receiver in the first place, and they ended up playing safety for that story. Let's save that for later, I guess.
So,
but yeah.
Did they tell you ahead of time, like, hey, we're going to move you to this, or was it one of those things like when you got there, were like, hey, oh, just so by the way, we're going to put you in a new position?
No, I played my freshman year at safety. And ended up starting there, and then, the season ended, came to the next year, and Coach Grantham, they came to me with like, we want you to move down to linebacker because we want to, get some other guys out here on the field and everything like that. And at the time, it was a tough pill to swallow, being that I wanted to play safety. That's what I came here to play, and did that. But at the end of the day, it worked out, and, I'm thankful for it. Just, being able to play any position and be ready to play, so.
All right, Leonard, you played at every single level, but I have to know, you've been through so many cool things, but what was it like to get this call to know that you were going to be a part of the High School Football Hall of Fame?
First of all, it was a blessing because there are so many other guys that have done the same thing or even more before my time, and it's truly a blessing to be amongst a lot of the guys that received it within these last 3-4 years, and now I'm among them, and this is something that me and my family could treasure, can and will treasure for the rest of our lives.
Well, Leonard, Alec, congratulations to you both. It really feels like an honor to be sitting here with both of you. Can't wait to see you and your family tomorrow at the College Football Hall of Fame. All right, let's give it back to Brandon and Rusty.
Kaylee, great job, and obviously great to hear from Alec Oldtree, Leonard Pope, two guys we're looking forward to celebrating with tomorrow. And as you've been listening to that, you've been watching Decatur marching down the field, now looking to put some points on the board. It's a pass complete, and a fight there at the goal line. They're going to say he comes up short, though.
I'll tell you what, the referee was standing right on the yard line, and he didn't give it to him. He tried to stretch out. Lanier tried to stretch it out.
Yes, Rusty said that was Caleb Lanier, the outstanding defensive back, in on offense. And now it's decision time on the stretch here. Decision time coming up for Decatur, and they're going to step up here and go for it. 4th and goal from the 1. Scott from the shotgun, handing it off, and it's a touchdown. Decatur marches down the field and cuts into the lead, and this large crowd here tonight loves it as Darius White finds the end zone.
Great answer by Decatur right there. Nice drive, and you got to finish it off on 4th down, and they do with their sophomore running back. We got a football game, Brandon.
The drive really set up because William Felton got a couple of his playmakers involved. You saw Cameron Frazier get a big catch. You saw Tim Britt, the other running back, will also line up as wide receiver at times too. He got heavily involved. really nice job spreading around the touches and getting multiple playmakers involved. And as Rusty alluded to, the tone and tenor of this game has changed a bit. The Decatur offense has entered the chat. This one's about to get fun.
This is the home of the GOATs. Friday Night Lights. And home of the Ballers. This is home of the Gamers. Peachtree Sports Network is the home of the Hustlers. And home of the Speed Junkies. The Peach State plays here. Atlanta's home of live local sports is Peachtree Sports Network.
Why would you buy life insurance from anyone else when Senior Life gives you all your money back? It's simple. When other companies say they save you a percentage of your money, Senior Life says we give it all back. That's right. With return of premium life insurance from Senior Life, we don't save you a percentage of your money, we give it all back, 100%. It works like this. If you pass away while you're insured, your loved ones get a check for the coverage amount you chose. But if you're still living at the end of the term, you get back all the money you paid, guaranteed. Spend it any way you wish. While others may talk about saving you money, Senior Life is the only one giving it all back. Return of premium term life insurance gives you protection if you need it and 100% cash back if you don't. Get all your money back with return of premium life insurance from Senior Life. Call the number on your screen now for free information. You have no obligation. Call now.
Here's to the legends of the game who paved the way for the stars of today.
Get out of his way.
Origin Sports showcases sports history that is as relevant today as it was in the past. We deliver the stars, stories, moments, and games that define the very essence of sports.
Touchdown! Hammer time!
Because when you celebrate the past, you embrace the future. Origin Sports. Run it back.
We are back in the Decatur student section. They got their toga party going on there. They are wild tonight. This is an unbelievable scene, an unbelievable environment. And the Bulldogs now trail only by a single score. It's 14-7, 5:22 to go. Second quarter of play. If you're just joining us to begin the game, Woodward Academy and their outstanding athlete Josiah Abdullah started it off with some fireworks with a touchdown. So keep that in mind here. This kick, though, it will be returnable. Now the ball goes in the end zone. So Stewart had a chance. Stewart's had a huge night. Blocked a field goal, made a big catch. But that time, ball goes through his hands on the kickoff. By rule, if it touches the end zone, that's a touchback. And so the excitement on special teams for Woodward Academy will be postponed, at least for now.
Be interested to see what Decatur does this time, knowing that Woodward got into their quarterback run game.
Yeah, this is a program that's really reinvented itself offensively. Last year made the state finals. A lot of that was on the basis of a very veteran defense. They thought they were going to have a guy, Lucas Farrington, at running back. Farrington, as players do, made a decision to go to a different school. And obviously in the wake and the aftermath of that, they've become kind of a pass-first offense. When you've got receivers the likes of which the War Eagles have, you understand why they would. Walker will run again across the 30-yard line, and he's going to get another first down for Woodward Academy. So he has been dangerous with his legs. We knew that he would be.
They double-team Hood. Watch the running back chip one right here. Got two guys on him. That gives you some time to get upfield. And when you do that, Walker is able to extend the play and move the chains. This time they double-team Hood with a running back. And he hurts him again with his run game.
Good job by Isom kind of getting, I mean, listen, taking on Hood like that's no easy feat. So good job by him for being willing to.
Business decision there.
I tell you what. Deep safety for Decatur, 4 across the defensive line. Walker will crank it up and throw. Not a ton of, Abdullah would have been the closest receiver. That may have been a timing route that just never quite fully developed.
Yeah, he was going up the seam. He was trying to throw it a little bit inside of him, and he was going up the seam. Not sure if that was supposed to be in a post route.
Is Thomas County Central and Houston County a good football game tonight or what? Tied at 21 at the moment.
The loser of that does not get home field at all in the playoffs unless there's an upset.
Can you believe that?
I mean, think about that.
The depth of 5A is staggering.
It is going to be something else. Look at Ware County on top of one of Robbins. That's a huge game.
Decatur showing pressure. Walker going to try to dump it off on a screen. This has worked before. It gets into Isom. And Isom will get something out of that and got a lot more than just something. 5 or 6 on that reception.
That play was set up, but Keith Simon, number 17, snuffs it out. Watch the run. See him realize, wait a minute, something's going on. You see him get the read. Had a lot of blockers up front, but Simon chasing it down from the back. Still a good gain, but it could have been a lot more. When people start releasing you for no reason, something's up, and Simon sniffed it out. Good job there by the Decatur linebacker.
Simon, a little bit of a rarity for Decatur. They don't sub a lot on defense. They play a lot of the same guys throughout the entirety of the game.
Woodward.
Simon is one of the subs that they will use, and he's had a good year, the senior.
You see Brady Pest manage the score ticker there. You see Calhoun 24-0. Team that we saw, they're getting hot at the right time.
And speaking of teams getting hot at the right time, let's celebrate our teams of the week here. Obviously, Clinch County representing 1A. Carver representing 2A. Cherokee Bluff, big game tonight against Jefferson, by the way, for the Bears. This all, of course, brought to you by Deer Park. Defending state champs Perry. They're playing Benedictine tonight. They're obviously our team of the week from the 4A classification. Brunswick representing 5A. And how about Richmond Hill last week beating Valdosta?
And Todd Robinson did not play. He is back tonight, but I don't care. That was a huge win for Richmond Hill. And that sent shockwaves through South Georgia. I asked Chris Sager while we're on air going, hey, am I seeing this right? Grass to Richmond Hill. Colquitt and Camden, another big game down in Kingsland.
Yeah, fun games taking place here. 3rd and 4. Now coming up. Walker throwing middle of the field, quick contact, but I believe that's going to be complete and a first down.
If you remember when we did the North Cobb Walton game, we talked to Shane Queen pregame. He said, Rusty, we match up with Region 1. So 2 of those teams are coming north.
So while we're watching Woodward Academy driving, let's also check in down with Kaylee Manziel. She's standing by with the great David Rocker, one of our high school football Hall of Fame inductees.
Wow.
All right, we've got another pair of Hall of Fame inductees in David Rocker and Kent Hill. Kent, I knew I recognized you from somewhere. I couldn't put my finger on it. You came to last year's ceremony when your teammate Mackle Harris got inducted. What do you remember about playing with Mackle on that team?
Well, I just remember that Mackle was just an outstanding football player. He's the fastest guy on the field, no matter who we were playing, and just a great teammate. So,
David, not many people can say this, but you are 4-0 against Georgia. We just had some Georgia guys out there. I mean, that seems unheard of. What do you remember about playing that series against them?
What I remember is winning.
Yes.
So that's one of those things that I still cherish today. I have so many friends that attended Georgia, and I just love reminding them every year. I never experienced losing to Georgia, and with the way the Georgia's playing this year, I'm definitely going to ride it.
Don't ever let them forget it. All right, Kent, we just spoke to a pair of dogs, but you yourself, you went to Georgia Tech. Why did you pick Tech to play at the collegiate level?
well, it was my parents' favorite.
Really?
Yeah, and the recruiter came in and he started talking about actually graduating from school, and you know, kind of passed. That was first before the football, and my parents loved it, so that was kind of it.
Hey,
yeah.
I'm sure it made everybody happy in that
Absolutely.
household, right?
Absolutely.
And David, for you, you know, post-football, you've done coaching, you've worked in broadcasting. I think your love for sports is very evident when you do things like that. How did being a player, how did that help you transition into being?
Well, it's one of those things that understanding that sports take you, it teaches you a lot about life.
Yeah.
So being able to take those principles that you learn from sports and being able to help the young people say, listen, it's don't get down on yourself if you're losing. Understand things can turn around. in one split play. So being able to just take those principles and instill it to young people, I think that's important, and that's one of those things that we need to make sure that we're doing today, especially in this society.
Yeah, athlete or not, I definitely think that's something we can all take something away from.
Absolutely.
All right, David, Kent, congratulations to you both. Excited to
so
see
much.
you tomorrow night. And with that, we'll give it back to Brandon and
Thank you
Rusty.
so much for having us.
Thank you so much to Kaylee and our Hall of Famers. Fun to hear those stories and great to celebrate these outstanding careers. Also, big football game taking place in the field in front of us, too. Walker throwing. Stewart diving for it. Did he make the catch? No signal yet. They're seeing complete.
Incomplete.
Boy, what an athletic play by Stewart to give himself a chance, though.
He closed on that. I'm going to tell you one thing about David Rocker. David Rocker put a lot of tears on a 12-year-old Rusty.
Sure did. Listen, I'm right there.
Hey, those Saturday afternoons between Auburn and Georgia, those were L's with that guy on the field.
Yeah, Dave and his brother Tracy as well. I think those may have been the last wins Auburn got against Georgia.
It could have been. And they had good neck rolls, too, you know.
They did. Listen, they did.
All my Auburn fans are about to light me up. Listen, I gave you some credit, man. David Rocker, one of the best ever to play in the SEC. Congratulations to him.
Yeah, listen, that's not a joke. I mean, an outstanding player, a well-deserving Hall of Famer, and fun to celebrate these stories here tonight. Lawrence is going to be back deep to receive the punt. High snap. Punt is away. It will bounce inside the 20 and then be dropped at the 15. And so with 51.7 seconds left, we'll get a chance to see how aggressive Decatur wants to be offensively after they march down the field and scored on their last drive. Is this the classic try something on first down, see what happens, and then judge from there?
No doubt about it right here because, listen, you're 2 for 1. You're going to get the ball to start the second half, so you just try to do something right here. See if you can pop something, a screen play, draw. See if you can pop something and get the ball out 15, 20 yards, and then you can work the sideline.
If you want to game it out, Woodward Academy does have 2 timeouts, so an incompletion could give them a chance to think about using those. Scott pressure coming on him, and down he goes, and that may be it for the
they're
first
going to call timeout. They're going to call timeout.
Okay, so they will call timeout.
Yep, and I think there was confusion because one coach said we didn't want it, and one coach said we did, but it was too late at that point.
Well, while that timeout is called, I'll get ready to give a shout-out here to our friends at Breda Pest Management. Obviously, we love everything that Breda's about when it comes to Georgia high school football. And, of course, Breda knows your house inside and out. They got a customized treatment plan that's going to be able to stop any bugs and critters that might be on the inside of your house or the outside of your house, because, after all, Breda Pest Management does it right. They understand that it's those bugs on the inside that you really want to get rid of. Breda Pest Management, they handle bugs and critters. You can trust Breda Pest Management today.
Brandon, we got a bye week for Georgia. We're going to be at the College Football Hall of Fame tomorrow night
for the Georgia High School Football Hall of Fame induction ceremony. Looking forward to that, and really one of the weekends that I look to as much as anything for the previously enshrined Hall of Famers that come back, for the new class. You know, you and I both love high school football, and it's a chance to sort of celebrate the best that our state has to offer. Really one of the best weekends you're ever going to have.
Great weekend. Great weekend to come out. You can still get tickets. Go to scoreatlanta.com. You can buy tickets. You can be there tomorrow night. See those guys, take pictures, get autographs, come enjoy it.
I can tell you, it's a very fan-friendly event.
Very open. Very open.
And really a classy event, too.
Yep.
So Woodward shows pressure again. Scott going to try to set up a screen. He gets it. And White's there at the 20, makes one man miss, and then going to collide there at the 28-yard line. He does go out of bounds, as Rusty says. Clock stops now. 32.8 seconds left, so well-designed screen, bearing Scott to Darius White.
That's a great job on the delay there, just to get in let the play unfold. Takes a little bit of patience with that. They're on the ball quickly. 3-by-1.
R.J. Harrison shoves him out of bounds. Clock moving now. Scott looking to throw, trying to the other sideline. Nice play defensively to break that up by Eli Lyle, sophomore linebacker. Almost stepped in front of it.
I tell you what, that ball had a little bit too much air on it. That tested his, that long throw across the hash. And man, that would have been bad deal for pick 6. Had a little bit too much air under that when you want to drive that ball into your receiver and let him get upfield.
Lyle's one of many sophomores that plays this Woodward Academy defense. John Hunt saying, I recognize this young man in middle school, knew he could be a good player here. You see pass complete to Lawrence. Lawrence stays in bounds, not able to get out, and that's going to keep the clock moving, although Decatur will quickly use one of its timeouts.
Yeah, you want to get out of bounds right there. I know he was on effort, and that's a great job, but as a young player, you got to know, I got to get out of bounds, stop the clock, save my team a timeout.
So, in other words, the time more important than the extra yardage right there.
Correct.
While we have a moment, let's see our football rankings here, presented by Deer Park. Obviously, in the 5A classification, what's interesting is the fact that Decatur, one of only 2 teams in the state that's been undefeated all year long but has not been ranked at any point in time this year, Hillgrove being the other.
Now they are. Yep.
And obviously, when you take a look at the private classification there, how about next week a chance to have a tremendous showdown for us?
You're talking about a huge deal now. Next Friday night at Hebron Christian, we got Prince Avenue versus Hebron. And the way this thing unfolds, Brandon, the loser of that game does not get a bye, because the top 8 teams right here, the region champs for each region, will be the bye. So one of those teams is going to have to play immediately, and there's a lot to unfold in that private rankings. We got a great game next week. Prince Avenue Christian at Hebron Christian, prime time.
We saw both those teams for our Corky Kell Dave Hunter Classic at the beginning of the year, although I did not broadcast either of those games. Here's a throw deep down the field. It's incomplete. Stewart had the coverage. Christian Jameson was the intended target, but the big body of Blake Stewart prevented that from turning into anything. And now with 13.1 seconds, Evan Fisher is going to come out on 4th down to punt. William Felton says, listen, Fisher may be the best punter in the entire state. And he's going to need to be right here because you want to be really careful. Abdullah is a punt returner, already has a kick return for a touchdown today. Blake Stewart, tremendous athlete. He's on the other side. Fisher gets a good punt away near the sideline. That's probably about as sharp as that one could be with only 5 seconds left. Avoid the dangerous play on special teams. They're going to say he went out of bounds. You know, may have shortchanged him a couple of yards there. Let's see our smart local 85 resume for Woodward Academy for John Hunt, now in his 14th season. State finalist a year ago, made it all the way to the state championship game before losing to Thomas County Central. You and I were also talking before the show, what an unbelievable resume for Coach Hunt.
Oh, wow.
He played at Florida, played in the NFL for multiple organizations, and then coached offensive line at both Florida, South Carolina, and with the Washington Redskins, too, as they were then known.
So Decatur will get the ball to open the second half.
And with that, our first half comes to a close. Woodward Academy has a lead, 14-7. But you get the sense there is some fun left to be had here tonight. So stay with us for our halftime show. A lot of fun and surprise on the way there for that. And it'll be third quarter action coming up from Decatur High School on our drive for the GHSA state title, presented by GeorgiaConstructionCareers.com.
The Mechanical Trades Institute is an opportunity towards personal financial freedom through hands-on and rewarding work. Our school is completely free and gives apprentices the knowledge and skills required to gain access to a lifelong career path. Apprentices learn pipe fitting, plumbing, mechanical service, and welding. They earn money as they learn and graduate with no student debt. Start a career with the Mechanical Trades Institute and change your financial future.
The Georgia Sheet Metal JETC equips apprentices with the knowledge and skills required to start a rewarding career in the sheet metal industry with programs in HVAC, industrial welding, and testing, adjusting, and balancing. Training is 100% free and allows apprentices to earn as they learn. Journeymen graduate with no student debt and have the potential to earn more than most college graduates. Visit our website to learn more about this opportunity at careersinsheetmetal.com.
Planting season is here, and it's time to get your yard looking its best. So treat your yard to the perfect touch from the professionals at Personal Touch Lawn Care. Mowing, maintenance, design, and construction. Personal Touch Lawn Care does it all.
If my yard is taken care of, it's one thing off my list that I don't have to worry about.
Sign up now for monthly maintenance and get the 12th month free.
Big enough to serve you, small enough to know you.
Personal Touch Lawn Care, 770-908-1238 or online at ptlcatlanta.com.
Georgia Match just made going to college in Georgia unbelievably easy.
check it out.
With Georgia Match, let them log into the portal and see all of their options, and just go ahead and hit that admissions button.
It's a genuine, joyful, motivational reaction I see from students and parents alike.
One of the values that Georgia Match brings is that it puts the power in the hands of the students.
Claim your spot. Go to georgiafutures.org or ask your counselor. See you on campus.
The GeorgiaConstructionCareers.com Drive for the GHSA state title is sponsored by the Atlanta Falcons. Rise up. The Georgia Elite Classic, Georgia's largest all-star games. Breda Pest Management, the official pest control of Atlanta. Personal Touch Lawn Care. The smallest details make the biggest difference. The Georgia Sheet Metal and Air Conditioning Contractors Association. CareersInSheetMetal.com. Building a solid future. And by R.S. Andrews. Story after story, we deliver smiles.
Welcome to Talking Trades. I'm Rhett Walker with Union Up on behalf of GeorgiaConstructionCareers.com, and I am joined by Andy Sumter, who is the Executive Vice President and CEO of the Georgia Mechanical Contractors Association, or the Mechanical Contractors Association of Georgia.
That's correct. That's right. That's right.
So talk to me about what your role is in that position and what all is encompassed in the mechanical trades.
Right. So we represent over 100 contractors. They're all in the state of Georgia. And, you know, we work with our Local 72, our union. We're partnered with them. And we love what they do, and we negotiate with them. They provide us with labor. We work together to provide training for our people, whether it's journeymen or apprentices. So, you know, there's really a lot going on. We provide education, you know, constantly training project managers, apprentices, journeymen. You know, so you never stop learning in our industry, without a doubt.
And so all those contractors are all across those trades: plumbing contractors, pipe fitting, HVAC, et cetera.
Yes, sir.
Talk about that a little bit, the different type of work.
So we do work all over Atlanta. You know, you see all the tower cranes downtown. You know, we're working in high rises. We've built, you know, Truist Park, Mercedes-Benz Stadium. We're working at, you see all the headlines on data center work. We're all over the data centers, hospitals, the Choa Hospital there at North Druid Hills. You know, I mean, work all over the place. We also do industrial work. There's a lot of factories around people don't realize. So, you know, we have highly skilled people. Trust me, and I know I was a project manager for over 20 years, and these tradespeople made me look good for over 20 years and helped me get where I am today.
So we talk about young people getting into the trades. What about people who are working currently in construction who might be looking for a better opportunity?
Yeah, we need experienced people. And so we are constantly looking around for experienced journeymen, you know, all over the state of Georgia. And they think that they can't join the union or there's not a place for them, and that's just so untrue. You know, we need experienced people. You know, when they come over and they see the education and training that they get, and the respect and professionalism that they're treated with, you know, they love it, and they talk to their friends that they used to work with, and they start coming over too. So there's really a lot of great opportunities for people.
So if somebody were interested in that, how could they find out more?
There's a lot of ways. You know, they could go to the website, afutureinpiping.com, and that's really for entry-level people. You can also go to ua72.org. That's our union website. They're always welcome to, you know, take calls and talk to you about joining the union and getting a job with contractors. And then you can also go to mti-jatt.org, which is our apprenticeship school, and you can, you know, that website is awesome, and you can learn a whole bunch more about the trades.
A lot of great opportunity. Good stuff. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Rutt.
And we'll be right back.
When looking at your meal, you must always make sure there's enough sauce for every single bite.
Now at McDonald's, buy one, get one for $1. Choose from a double cheeseburger, 6-piece chicken McNuggets, or small fries.
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
Your home for live local high school football is Peachtree Sports Network. Don't miss the action every Friday night, only on PSN. Over the air on 17.2, on cable, and streaming on YouTube TV and Fubo. High school football on PSN is sponsored by Ingalls.
Why would you buy life insurance from anyone else when Senior Life gives you all your money back? It's simple. When other companies say they save you a percentage of your money, Senior Life says we give it all back. That's right. With return of premium life insurance from Senior Life, we don't save you a percentage of your money, we give it all back, 100%. It works like this. If you pass away while you're insured, your loved ones get a check for the coverage amount you chose. But if you're still living at the end of the term, you get back all the money you paid, guaranteed. Spend it any way you wish. While others may talk about saving you money, Senior Life is the only one giving it all back. Return of premium term life insurance gives you protection if you need it and 100% cash back if you don't. Get all your money back with return of premium life insurance from Senior Life. Call the number on your screen now for free information. You have no obligation. Call now.
NetCredit is here to say yes to a personal loan or line of credit, even when other lenders won't. Apply online in minutes and get funds deposited the next business day or sooner. Go to netcredit.com. NetCredit. Credit to the people.
And welcome to the Sports Turf Halftime Show. It's time for our halftime guest presented by BSN. I'm Kelly Mansell with Hall of Fame inductee Jack Pitts, who played quarterback at Trinity High School. I feel like you have a unique story because Trinity and Decatur were integrated shortly after your time at Trinity, and even though you didn't go to school here, you're honored on their wall of fame. What's it like to have this come full circle in this moment?
Unbelievable. I played right here in this stadium, and when they told me I was going on the Hall of Fame, I couldn't believe it because, as you said, we were separated because of segregation. But we got all of our equipment from Decatur High. We got our books from Decatur High. So I knew about the school, and I would come and watch them play on the night that we weren't playing.
And from what I understand, you lived close to here. You played games here. There's a certain fence over there I've been told to ask about. Maybe you hopped it. You got to tell me the story.
Well, and I was telling IJ that my teammates, that's one that they remember.
Uh-huh.
We were playing Jackson High School, and we were leading 6-0. And we were going in to score. I rolled out to my left, and I stepped in a hole. And I short-armed the pass. The guy from Jackson intercepted, ran it all the way back. They kicked the extra point. We lose the game 7-6. And I was so distraught that I didn't walk out with my teammates. I came down to this corner and jumped the fence and went home, and I was sitting on the floor crying. And my mom said, "Boy, what's wrong with you?" And I said, "I lost the game for my team." And she said, "You need to get a life. That was just a football game." But that's the one that my team and my coaches remember. They don't remember anything. They don't say anything about my 65 season. But that jumping over the fence, they remember.
I mean, well, no one can take away from you the fact that you cleared that over there. I'm not surprised that that's what they remember.
With my uniform on.
With pads and everything?
Pads and everything.
Oh, my God.
Football shoes. It was something.
Well, one of the legendary things about you is that it's believed that you're the first African-American from Metro Atlanta that was recruited by a Big Ten school. I imagine that recruitment was a lot different back then. Now they can just go watch Huddle tape or find it on social media. How did Michigan State discover you?
Well, and it's a very interesting story. The white football coach here at Decatur High used to come and watch me play. And he told my high school coach, he said, "You need to film this kid, and I'll make sure the University of Minnesota, which was in the Big Ten, gets the film." Well, we didn't have no equipment, so he literally filmed me and gave it to my high school coach.
Wow.
My high school coach gave it back, and he gave it to sent it to Minnesota. And that was my first recruiting trip. You know, and so once Minnesota got the tape, they had a sharing program with other Big Ten schools, and my name started circulating around the country, and I started getting offers from everywhere.
What was it like making that transition from high school to college football?
Well, you know, I was trained to play quarterback. I played quarterback in my neighborhood since I was 5. But my coach, Orlando F. Massey, he said, if you're going to be the quarterback, you have to lead these kids in the classroom, in the community, in church, in exercise, and everything. So I was trained to be a quarterback. And I think what people miss sometimes is that I played in a segregated system. But when I went to Michigan State, my first huddle was 10 white guys. And I didn't know nothing else to do but pat them on the butt and say, let's go.
Right.
Because that's the way I was trained, you know.
Well, last thing I do want to talk about that 65 season, because we've got a lot of people going into the Hall of Fame, but not many of them can say that they were a state champion. What do you remember most about that season?
I'm going to give you one example that I think characterized the kids I played with and our team. We were playing Tifton in Tifton, Georgia. They had so many players that they literally circled the football field with us in the middle. We had 26 players. We had it first and goal inside the 5. And then it was first and goal at 4th down, first and goal with 1 yard to go. And I got in the huddle and I looked in my guy's face and I said, you know, we come too far to let these guys stop us now. They knocked every defensive lineman down on the ground, and in most cases they were outweighed by 20 to 30 pounds. And I walked across the goal line. We win the game 19-14. That was the kind of team that I played with. Those were the kinds of guys who stood up against all kinds of odds and allowed me to do things that got me here.
Well, Jack, it's an honor to be sitting here with you. Congratulations. How about we get off set and let's go see if you can still clear that fence over there.
I don't think so.
We're going to find out. All right, guys, with that, we will be right back after this.
Thank you.
Are you ready for a match made in Georgia? Georgia Match is changing the way Georgia high school students go to college.
There were so many different writing prompts, and it was a lot.
It was very time-consuming and difficult.
It was kind of like a nerve-wracking thing.
And I was like, oh, I actually have to think about college.
I didn't know if it was worth going to college, maybe go to work and start my life that way.
A lot of students do experience stress and anxiety. They don't know what colleges they could even have a hope of attending.
The main issue is how complicated the college going process is.
$50 for this college application, $25 for this, $75 for this one.
It's tedious. There's a lot of information.
It's just a kind of a daunting task to go through all the paperwork.
She wasn't thinking about college, but I was. I was like, this sounds so easy. Why wouldn't I apply to college with this?
It has all of the colleges in Georgia that they look to be pre-qualified for.
It's explaining the Georgia colleges that you're eligible for based on your Hope GPA.
It was better than like searching schools one by one online.
There was probably about 20 to 25 on the Georgia Match that came in.
There's so many colleges out there, but Georgia Match made it easier for me to pick out which college I wanted to go to.
They are pretty surprised at how many options they have in the state of Georgia.
Georgia Match takes into consideration everything. They do the hard work for you.
They can just click save my spot. It is as simple as that.
They give you a beginning push to just motivate you to even apply.
Without having to spend hours on end in front of a computer repeatedly entering in the same information.
Several students came up with their letter and wanted to know, are they serious? Like I could really apply to all of these? And yes, it's real.
I got into about 6 or 7. It saved me hours of application times and money.
Look at all these schools I can apply to and actually get in. And it was just like an exciting feeling and confident booster for sure.
Her plan was to go to Clemson, but with Georgia Match, it only made sense that she stay within the state of Georgia.
Students don't know what is all in Georgia, and there's so many other options that they might not ever even think about.
And they don't realize how good Georgia schools are.
It's an excellent program for the students to know all of their options.
The Georgia Match program did take away the intimidations of trying to find the right school that fit him.
I didn't know that she could get accepted into so many schools. It made me happy.
As soon as I saw my colleges I got accepted to, I almost made the decision immediately.
I get my Georgia Match results back and I'm able to go through an easy application process with no money down.
They have so much on their plate right now, anything to make decisions easier.
I think Georgia Match gave her a lot of confidence.
Be responsible and accountable for his choices is probably one of the greatest accomplishments a parent could have.
If I didn't see these options with Georgia Match, the amazing results that I got, I probably would have ended up at Clemson University.
It makes me super confident about what I want to do.
If Georgia Match didn't exist, there's no way I would be applying to 25 schools.
It quickly boosted my confidence, thinking, okay, they want me.
The state of Georgia just does a wonderful job of giving our kids options.
Seeing that list was super inspirational, motivational.
You say, oh my gosh, my options were 0, and now it's the world. And it gives them hope. It's nice.
It definitely builds my confidence. It makes me think I'm like the smartest person in the world.
I claim my spot with Georgia Match.
Yo tengo mi sitio con Georgia Match.
I claim my spot with Georgia Match.
I claim my spot with Georgia Match.
I claim my spot with Georgia Match.
All right, welcome back, everybody. You see our halftime score. Woodward Academy leading Decatur 14-7. We'll get ready to show you how all of this took place in our first half. Of course, this is also our Georgia High School Football Hall of Fame weekend. Looking forward to a big night tomorrow. But a big football game here taking place right now, and it started on the opening kickoff as Josiah Abdullah took it more than 95 yards. Rusty all the way back to the score.
I loved him getting off this block right here, and you just see him not slowing down until he got to the end zone. I loved he crossed the goal line with the football.
And then Blake Stewart would get it going for Woodward Academy on special teams to block field goal. After that, how about Landon Walker throwing the completion? By the way, speaking of Stewart, so you kind of wonder, was that a catch? Was that a fumble? But either way, it set up a field goal try, and now it's Decatur's turn to get the blocked on the field goal.
Yeah, and this is kind of the theme for Woodward. Walker, they got Walker going in the run game after having problems with that Decatur front four. You see him getting north and south.
Walker's a Navy committed quarterback, kind of showing why there, and now going to throw it to Abdullah again, and Abdullah showing the strength.
Yeah, you see this right here. Couple of good balls. Nice job getting off tackles, getting back upfield, and you're going to see the touchdown right here.
Got some
or
zip
got him
on
to
that
it,
one.
yeah.
And Stewart would get you close to the 5-yard line, and then Walker, calling his own number, would score. At that point in time, it was 14-0 Woodward Academy, but Decatur would come striking back. A lot of that on the back of Britt, the running back, and Frazier, the wide receiver. And then
on 4th and 1.
On 4th and 1, getting into the end zone and scoring, the sophomore running back, Darius White, kind of continuing what has been an outstanding season for him. And it's also senior night here at Decatur High School, so we've had a lot of festivities. We had a ton of seniors.
Extended halftime.
Other sports being honored before the game, and an extended halftime here where a number of senior football players and other folks connected to the football program were honored. So it's been a longer halftime. The Decatur band now only just now kind of getting out on the field. So we'll give you a chance to see that. Of course, it's presented by, well, Dog Nation, my friends. And so we'll let you watch that. Nothing better than a high school band here on a Friday night. We're glad to have you with us as part of our halftime on our drive to the GHSA state title. And the Decatur band here, brought to you by Dog Nation.
Welcome to the Ingalls Table, a delicious destination with recipes galore. Need to whip up a dessert, entree, side dish? No problem. The experts from the Ingalls Table take you through it step by step with expert tips and advice along the way. Find the Ingalls Table at ingalls-markets.com or swing by the store and pick up your free copy of the Ingalls Table magazine. And let's get cooking. Ingalls, low prices, love the savings.
I'm Judge Hatchett, and I am here to tell you that when tragedy strikes, you need our experienced law firm.
Hiring the wrong attorney can get you a lower settlement than you deserve, and that's a fact.
That's why you need the Lions of Stewart Miller Simmons trial attorneys on your case.
If you or a loved one has suffered a personal injury or wrongful death,
call us at 404 Law Firm or smstrial.com.
We need some help.
I know. I'm going to CashNetUSA.com. And if approved, we can have the money in our account as soon as the same business day.
Go to CashNetUSA.com to apply for the money you need.
When looking at your meal, you must always make sure there's enough sauce for every single bite.
Now at McDonald's, buy one, get one for $1. Choose from a double cheeseburger, 6-piece chicken McNuggets, or small fries.
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
I take caring for my kitty very seriously. So when I found a health monitoring kitty litter, I had to meet the creator.
Oh, hi, kitten.
Please, I told you to call me Martha. This litter seriously stops odors, and it changes colors.
Smart and pretty, you could say.
You're going to make me blush. I love that it's lightweight, low dust, and delivers right to my doorstep.
Try it today. Go to prettylitter.com.
At Matthews Kia of Cartersville, we got you covered. And we're not just talking about our free warranty forever that covers your new Kia's engine, transmission, drive assembly, and parts and labor for life. When you buy from Matthews, your family, we're always there for you, answering your questions, working within your budget, and providing you the service that keeps you safe and secure, just like family should. So click, call, or visit today. Find your forever car and join the family at Matthews Kia of Cartersville. We got you covered.
And welcome back, everybody. Halftime continues here, and the Decatur band performance is a dazzling one. And we'll continue to watch that here, brought to you by Dog Nation. Of course, have third quarter action coming up just shortly after that as this extended halftime continues.
Man, I don't even know. I was flipping burgers last week.
Violation, unsportsmanlike conduct, impersonating a craftsman.
Skilled trade unions are well-trained career pros, not part-timers. Construction is a rewarding and lucrative career with the advancement potential, but you have to do it the right way with the right training. Learn how you can be a pro. Find your career at GeorgiaConstructionCareers.com.
Beginning the morning you opened your eyes, we spent every waking moment preparing you for the day you'd leave our nest. Whether it's driving to practice or helping with homework, it's all prepared you for, what am I going to be when I grow up? Will you be ready?
After much thought, I made my decision to take my talents to the IBEW Local 613.
The International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers is not simply a job, it's a career. Visit IBEW613.org to begin a new future today.
We celebrate the athletes, the buzzer beaters, the record breakers, the wins. Now, it's time to celebrate the people behind it all. The advice givers, the community shapers, the game changers, the life changers. It's time to celebrate our coaches. Join all of us at BSN Sports and show your coach some love by sharing their story with #ThankYouCoach.
Great teams are committed, focused on the details, and work hard to be their best. From practice to games, right down to their gear. Your field is a critical part of the game that allows your athletes to showcase their athletic abilities. Sports Turf is committed to bringing your team innovative sports surfaces with unparalleled performance. You bring the vision. Our team brings it to life.
For a healthier future together, look to Northside Hospital.
Welcome back, everybody. 14-7 is our score. Third quarter about to get underway. Brandon Adams, Rusty Manziel. Kaylee Manziel also doing a great job in our host position tonight. And how much fun has it been hearing her and seeing her do so many interviews with these Georgia High School Football Hall of Famers. Our induction ceremony, as you know, taking place tomorrow. This is our Hall of Fame game, so to speak. And it has lived up to the billing here with a Woodward Academy team that lost 3 straight to begin the season, won 5 straight since then. State finalist a year ago in 6A, now playing in 5A. And a Decatur team 8-0. And looking to receive this short kick here. And the ball's going to be free. And the ball's now bouncing around the 20-yard line and finally goes out of bounds. So the Frazier, the return man for Decatur, knocked the ball forward and almost like a pinball machine. A Woodward Academy defender, I think, kicked it back.
I don't know that I've ever seen a game with special teams with this many impact. He misses it. Woodward Academy player comes off of his shoe, it looks like.
I've never hardly seen that where it got deflected to him. He wasn't able to get his hands on it, but diving for it, his foot hit it and then kicked it right back.
Boy, Decatur,
it's almost like soccer.
Very fortunate. Last week, the Cedartown Cartersville game, we had a fumble return for a touchdown on the first play of the second half. Almost had a turnover on the opening play of the second half this week.
Wild kickoffs have started both of our halves here tonight. Scott will throw. That's a pass complete. Across the 25-yard line goes Caleb Lanier. The Duke commit on defensive back, gets his second catch of the night.
Listen, Brandon, this is one of those halves that kind of determines if you have three home games in the playoffs or if you go on the road after week 2. This is a very important half for both of these football teams.
A lot on the line here. Hand off on the ground.
And what I mean by that, if you win your region and you are a 1 seed, as long as you handle business, you're guaranteed your first 2 games at home.
Yeah, you see the region standings there from Region 4 in the 5A classification. Scott going to throw, complete. Pass caught 35, then up to the 35 goes Lorenzo Fari. First catch of the night for him.
Seeing something a little different. They're working the ball in space, getting it out of the quarterback's hands, trying to attack these Woodward DBs.
Halftime adjustment perhaps. Here's the pitch to Britt. Britt, though, hit right away. Ball came free. Are they going to say he's down? They're going to say he was down. Eli Lyles was right there.
And ball was up. Let's see where this ball ends up. Watch the ball. Oh, on the ground.
They're going to say ground caused that.
Yeah. He still got it back. Man, that's crazy.
Going to throw over and hit right away. And how about that for White? Shook free of the first one, but then driven back quickly on the next. Rocco Zaroyans, the defensive end, one of the guys in on that stop.
Watch Eli Lyles, 27. He's the one that comes up right here. He reads it, gets off the block, almost gets the tackle. Man, both of those guys right there were going to get called for targeting in Austin. Thank God we're in Decatur here.
A battle of sophomore on sophomore there between Lyles and White.
Sorry,
Lawrence.
I had to take a jab at that because that was pretty bad last night.
It was very bad.
I don't care who you're a fan of. That Jonel Aguero made the most picture-perfect tackle in open space you could possibly
literally teach tape.
It is literally instructional tape. And my man is going to have to sit out a half for Georgia next week. But I'll get off that tangent.
Josiah Abdullah now back to receive the punt here from Evan Fisher. Fisher on 19 punts coming in tonight, averaging 43.7 yards per punt. To give you an idea of the kind of year he's had, this is a beauty.
Good kick.
Abdullah's going to have to call for the fair catch, going over his shoulder. Fell down to catch at the 15.
He's almost like a center fielder tracking a fly ball behind him.
Almost looked like Willie Mays off the bat of Vic Wertz.
Showed great ball skills right there to be able to run backwards and catch that ball to finish off good. Listen, Decatur had a couple of chunk plays there, moved the chains, but Woodward is able to get the ball, get it back.
So how many hidden yards does Abdullah save there by making that catch without letting it roll?
At least 17 or 16 right here because they got the ball and it doesn't pin you back.
So with the lead, Woodward Academy goes back on offense. Isom will be the tailback. It's 3 receivers. In motion goes Stewart. Hand off to Isom. They don't do a lot of traditional runs. That is a straight tailback dive, though. Got maybe 2 that time.
Now you want to see what Woodward, what adjustments they make here. What did they see at halftime? We almost had a Super Bowl halftime, about 30, 35 minutes for high school football.
You had to get Beyonce stage.
I didn't know if Beyonce or somebody was coming out here at halftime.
A lot of seniors to be honored.
I think I got a text, I believe some Duke coaches, some Virginia coaches on the sideline. Seeing their commits play.
2nd and 8. Fake.
He's open.
Walker will throw. It's wide open, middle of the field. Running cross midfield and still going. That's Pickens there to the 30-yard line. Alan Pickens, 2nd catch of the night, and this is a monster one.
He comes
51 yards.
He comes right up the middle, and I noticed there was a guy streaking down the middle of the field wide open. You're going to see him from the tight end position. Drops it in. Nobody's there, but watch this gear as he gets through this hole of Decatur defenders. Man, what a nice play.
We said earlier that Walker has an unusual throwing motion, but he doesn't have a problem getting velocity on the ball. He had plenty of zip on that. Ball now rest at the 30. Single deep safety for Decatur. Walker looking right side, will throw that way. Pass, caught again, shaking free at the 20, inside the 10, to the 5, and it's a touchdown. Jerome Bettis Jr. gets Woodward Academy on the board here in the 3rd quarter.
What a nice throw there by Sanders, and then Bettis Jr. does the rest. Almost like a curl route, just comes right back to the football. Watch him come in, and then watch the little shake there to run through the arm tackle for a touchdown. That's going to make Notre Dame fans happy tonight on that replay.
6th touchdown of the season for Bettis, and yes, you recognize that name, and it's not a surprise to hear that he's going to Notre Dame.
That's the sports car. That's not the bus.
That's right. That's very good.
He's got a little more. He's got a little more juice than Pop has.
He's also 6'3", 190, great size.
Yes.
And a big play here as Woodward Academy extends its lead. We'll take a quick timeout. We'll come back and show you more third quarter action right after this.
I'm Judge Hatchett, and I am here to tell you that when tragedy strikes, you need our experienced law firm.
Hiring the wrong attorney can get you a lower settlement than you deserve, and that's a fact.
That's why you need the Lions of Stewart Miller Simmons trial attorneys on your case.
If you or a loved one has suffered a personal injury or wrongful death,
Call us at 404 Law Firm or smstrial.com.
Hello and welcome to Georgia High School Heroes presented by Ingalls. I'm Chris Bainbridge and we're counting down the best players in Georgia high school history. This week's featured athlete takes us to Johnson County High School, the home of the Trojans. Herschel Walker was a three-sport prep athlete competing in football, basketball, and track. But his work on the gridiron set him apart from his peers. His senior year, he rushed for 3,167 yards, helping the Trojans win their first state championship and garnered the inaugural Dial Award as the 1979 National High School Scholar Athlete of the Year, graduating as valedictorian. His football prowess took him to the University of Georgia, winning the national championship over Notre Dame in the 1981 Sugar Bowl. The Heisman winner went on to the fledgling USFL before furthering his career in the NFL, where he played for 10 seasons. Thank you for watching Georgia High School Heroes, presented by Ingalls.
We need some help.
I know. I'm going to CashNetUSA.com. And if approved, we can have the money in our account as soon as the same business day.
Go to CashNetUSA.com to apply for the money you need.
When looking at your meal, you must always make sure there's enough sauce for every single bite.
Now at McDonald's, buy one, get one for $1. Choose from a double cheeseburger, 6-piece chicken McNuggets, or small fries.
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
Welcome back, everybody. Let's take another look at our touchdown as Woodward Academy builds its lead to 21-7. Jerome Bettis Jr. getting involved. First catch of the game for him. Man, what a doozy it was. As
nice ball from Walker.
Yeah, good throw, nice catch. And with that, as we get ready to continue third quarter action, Kaylee Manziel standing by with another one of our Hall of Famers. It's Bill Mayo, the former Dalton Catamount, going into the Hall of Fame tomorrow. Kaylee Manziel, take it away.
I mean, guys, it's hard to believe that he played a while ago because you look like you still got it, Mr. Mayo, I have to say.
I think I would get hurt real fast if one of these guys out here hit me. I was looking at him. There's some big kids on the field.
I don't know about all that. In your time at Dalton, you were 33-7. You played in a state final, a semifinal. What was it about those teams that were so dominant in your time there?
You know, I think one of the advantages we had a tremendous coaching staff. Coach Bill Chappell, over 300 wins in Georgia high school history. One of the top winningest coaches. He had a great staff of assistants and just very well coached fundamental football teams and just a lot of hard-nosed kids playing. You know, just not a lot of superstar athletes, but just a lot of good players, a lot of good high school football players.
So back in 2017, our good friends at Georgia High School Football Daily named you still the best player to ever come out of Dalton High School. If that doesn't display the dominance, then I don't know what does.
Yeah, I don't know about that. You know,
don't be so modest.
Offensive linemen, we don't get picked for many things, and we've had a lot of tremendous players. In fact, we've got a young man right now that's playing for the Detroit Lions, Jameer Gibbs, that is one heck of a football player, and I had the good fortune of being the offensive line coach for the Catamounts when Jameer was playing. So he made me a really good offensive line coach in those years.
And that's one thing I love about your story in particular is that after your time in football was over, you came back to your community and you wanted to coach. I mean, what was it about Dalton that said, okay, I have to go back here and do this?
You know, I just felt like giving back to the community was really important. My wife and I moved back to Dalton after I graduated after we got out of Tennessee, and I had a stint at Green Bay and got hurt, and so we came back to Dalton. I started coaching rec league football. Then I did middle school football. I coached the high school for about 15 years. I did the radio broadcast. I hosted our coaches' television show. It's such an integral part of our community, and it's so much fun to be involved on Friday nights. I mean, look at this tremendous atmosphere tonight, right? And just so much fun to be a part of it. And I felt like anything I could do to give back to something that did so much for me was just really important.
As you mentioned earlier, it's sometimes the big guys that don't get the recognition that they deserve. What was it like when you got the call that you were going to be inducted?
It was really special. Just the fact that what you guys have put together and the classes ahead of me, the people that I had seen, it was such an honor to be included in this. I was quite flattered and very excited. Looking forward to tomorrow night.
Well, Mr. Mayo, it's an honor to be sitting with a North Georgia legend. Congratulations to you. Excited to see you and your big support system tomorrow night.
Absolutely. Thank you so much.
All right.
Look forward to it.
Let's give it back to Brandon and Rusty.
All right, good stuff, Kaylee, and great to have Bill Mayo with us there, too. Obviously, Dalton, one of the great capitals for high school football in Georgia. Obviously, a great career worth celebrating here. The Decatur drive doesn't amount to much, and now it's Woodward Academy getting the advantage on the punt return, and it's Blake Stewart in the open field, and he's going to go back to the end zone for a touchdown on a punt return, second kick return of the night, although there is a flag down, so hold everything.
That's going to come back, but the athleticism of Woodward on the last two plays in particular, Jerome Bettis Jr. with a touchdown, and you see this play, punt return by Stewart, shows you what scares you
block in the back.
In a matchup
Return
against Woodward
team.
Academy.
10-yard
Not
penalty.
the biggest team they've had.
First down.
But a very athletic football team.
Yeah, you got to get the impression, because Stewart didn't play a year ago, because, they lost their first 3 games. A lot of would-be opponents for Woodward Academy may only tonight watching TV, as you see, the block in the back there. They may only just now be acquainted with what Stewart kind of brings to the table athletically to match Abdullah and to match, obviously, Jerome Bettis Jr. That is quite a trio of big-time athletes. In the case of both Stewart and Bettis, they're also both playing a ton on defense, too.
Let me comment on Bill Mayo. I first met Bill Mayo covering Watch Danzler, who wound up playing at Georgia. But Bill Mayo was the first person to text me on Jameer Gibbs. He goes, Rusty, we've got one up here in Dalton.
Oh, that's neat.
I'm telling you right now, Coach Mayo, you didn't miss on that one.
Absolutely. And, Jameer Gibbs did have to fight for attention back then. It is true.
Yep.
But clearly he's getting his attention now playing in the NFL. Going to crank up and throw it. It's going to be a pass complete. And now off to the races again inside the 30. That's Bettis again. Knocked out of bounds inside the 10. All of a sudden he's getting hot.
Man. Too easy right there. Just pitch and catch. I don't know what the coverage was, but he was wide open again. And he gets the ball out on the money.
This is a Woodward team that's essentially now throwing it like 80% of the time because of guys like that.
Yeah, I don't blame them right now. Man. Bettis Jr. so quiet in the first half.
Yeah, very quiet. And we're also in the red zone now, presented by IBEW, Local 613. Pickens goes in motion, becomes a tight end attached to the left side of the offensive line. Now Walker tried himself and going to get driven back for his trouble.
That's the play they scored the touchdown on earlier. Tried to run the same play, flip-flop the tight end, which he becomes dead because he's covered up. And they try to run quarterback power just right at this time. Hood gets off the block, gets up the field, but that's the exact same play. They scored in the exact same end zone in the first half.
Yeah, Hood is a good-looking player now.
I like him. He's probably not the prototypical 6'3" defensive lineman, but that's a kid you're going to see that's going to go somewhere, and he's going to wind up on all these conference teams down the line in a couple of years. You're going to have to look him up where he was.
He reminds me of one of those defensive linemen that Bobby May always has at
Cal.
A
Yes.
lot of those guys have not been big-time college prospects necessarily, but very productive. Walker now rolling right, going to get tripped up. Nice play defensively by Ethan Johnson. They call him the Terminator. He got another sack.
Watching Jack State play last night on TV or Tuesday night, and this kid kept making plays. I was like, who's Cam Bond? I look him up. Yeah, he's from Temple 2 years ago, played in Georgia League Classic, got MVP. And I was like, I knew that guy. And he was just kind of raw coming out of Temple, and now as a sophomore, he's leading Jack State in receiving, and that's exactly what happens to a player like Hood. You remember you saw him on TV one night, 2 years later, he's leading the team on ESPN or ESPN2 on a Tuesday, Wednesday night for one of those group of 5 teams.
3rd and 11. By the way, speaking of recruits, Johnson just got the sack. He's working on a nice offer list right now, too. Kansas State, Army, Temple, the other
Timeout.
Woodward Academy.
And with that timeout, we'll take one here, too. It's 3rd and goal here coming up, although going in the wrong direction here right now. We'll be right back.
Dang, where you get this car?
You need to join the union.
The union?
Absolutely. Yes, you can get 10 of these.
Union construction workers earn the highest wages with the best benefits and the most protection in the construction industry. Find your career in construction. Go to GeorgiaConstructionCareers.com and start your future today.
What happens after you graduate? Will you go to the next level? Will people have your back in the heat of the battle? Will you still train like a champion in pursuit of greatness? You will when you become an IBEW electrician. Join our team. Visit IBEW613.org.
We celebrate the athletes, the buzzer beaters, the record breakers, the wins. Now, it's time to celebrate the people behind it all. The advice givers, the community shapers, the game changers, the life changers. It's time to celebrate our coaches. Join all of us at BSN Sports and show your coach some love by sharing their story with #ThankYouCoach.
Great teams are committed, focused on the details, and work hard to be their best. From practice to games, right down to their gear. Your field is a critical part of the game that allows your athletes to showcase their abilities. Sports Turf is committed to bringing your team innovative sports surfaces with unparalleled performance. You bring the vision, our team brings it to life.
I've used R.S. Andrews 15 years, purchased 2 heating and air systems, so I rely on their technicians for service. I call, they come, it's fixed. And I appreciate Andrews' commitment. He gives it his all. That's how R.S. Andrews makes me smile.
Yankee Wawa! Running out of hot water is one way your water heater cries out for help. Call R.S. Andrews. Get a water heater rejuvenation. Your water heater gets added life, you get more hot water. Another way R.S. Andrews makes you smile today.
The GeorgiaConstructionCareers.com drive for the GHSA state title is sponsored by Gordo's, Fiesta every day. Northside Hospital, your source of strength. The Mechanical Trades Institute, the best kept secret everyone should know about. Dog Nation. Visit DogNation.com for the latest Georgia team news and recruiting information. Georgia Match. Claim your spot at a Georgia college today by visiting gafutures.org. And by Georgia High School Sports Daily. Live at noon Monday through Friday on the Peachtree Sports Network and Atlanta News First app.
All right, welcome back, everybody. 3 minutes, 50 seconds to go in our third quarter. Woodward Academy staring at a 3rd and
Look
goal.
Look at the split up top.
21-7.
Out of screen.
It's almost like a
Tennessee split.
Josh Heupel,
yes.
Offensive formation here. Walker taking the snap, going to throw. He's got Stewart. Stewart coming back at well-designed play, and it scores. Beautiful job there. Setting it up, Rusty recognized it, and Stewart came across on the crossing pattern and scored the touchdown.
When your wide receiver is 2 yards from the sideline, something's up. And they spread him out and ran that slant underneath. But it was a picture-perfect Tennessee route set up there on a slant because the split was way outside the numbers.
Our scoring recap brought to you by Breda Pest Management, and just a really clever way to get one of your great athletes involved.
Out of a timeout.
Out of a timeout. PAT, and for Walker, it sets up a pretty favorable throwing opportunity.
Oh, yeah, it's a lot of space. A lot of space there.
And so with that, 28-7 is our new score. We'll check in now. Kaylee Manziel standing by. with another special guest along with their I.J.
Hi,
Rosenberg.
I'm Kaylee Mansell with I.J. Rosenberg and Jack Broyles, son of legendary coach and Decatur alum Frank Broyles. So your dad went to school here, but you've never been here before. What's it like seeing it for the first time? Can you just feel his legacy here in the moment?
Yes, I can. I'm so excited to be here tonight, and I wish he was still alive to be here for this wonderful ceremony where he's going to be inducted into the Hall of Fame. So he would love to have been here.
Well, and I think, Jack, your dad, there's been he was, in my opinion, one of the most intriguing personalities in college football. I mean, you look at what he did, just at Decatur High School, obviously went to Georgia Tech, but the fact that he was at 50 years, he was at Arkansas as either the athletics director or the head coach. And then on top of that, he was Keith Jackson's partner and really was, Kaylee, the first John Madden. I mean, he was really the first coach on TV that sort of loosened up, said a lot of funny things. But what an incredible career he had. But I want you to tell one story that you just told me. And that was when he was at Georgia Tech in the 40s, and he went into the military, and he told me he didn't get his uniform dirty. So tell me the story about him going to Pearl Harbor and what happened.
Well, what happened is, I guess in 45, they called him up, and he was in the Navy and was a second lieutenant. And so they called his unit up just before his senior year. And he was took him a train out to San Francisco and then to Pearl Harbor. And when he landed in Pearl Harbor, the Germans gave up. That night. So 2 weeks later.
This is great.
Back to San Francisco, takes the train back to Atlanta, goes to New York for some training, and then to the Philippines for the invasion of Japan.
Wow.
And when he got to the Philippines, the Japanese gave up. So Mother always said that when the Germans and the Japs heard Frank Broyles was coming, they gave up.
I think a lot of people understand that a coach's job is so difficult because you never know what your next move is, but maybe we also don't give enough credit to coaches' kids. You're always on the road. Dad's always gone. Your dad spent time at Baylor, Georgia Tech, Missouri, Arkansas, Florida. When you look back on all those schools and all the places that you got to go, which school would you say your fondest memories are at?
Oh, at Fayetteville, Arkansas, for sure, with the Hogs. But it was fun being the coach's son.
Yeah.
We grew up on the sidelines. We could just follow the ball up and down the field, except for 15 feet around Dad. We only invaded that space once because he goes, son, don't come around me when I'm coaching, and set me down outside. Don't come inside it. Yes, sir.
Now, Jack, he was obviously a great player here at Decatur High School and then went on to Georgia Tech and was great there. But when he was coaching, who were some of his favorite players that you really remember? Because I'm sure he brought a few of them over for dinner.
Well, I think the most famous one was Lance Allworth. Came up in his first recruiting class out of Mississippi. Supposed to go to Ole Miss, but Dad got him to come to Arkansas, and that was a big thing because he could recruit off of that. But then a guy named Billy Moore came up from Little Rock as a quarterback. Then Jimmy Johnson, Jerry Jones, the great. They played great for Dad, but they formed the Cowboys and won a lot of Super Bowls, So.
And how about the relationship with Keith Jackson? Because people, when they think of college football, they think of Keith Jackson. But what was the relationship with him?
They were so close. And I didn't really realize that until they named the field after Dad, Frank Broyles Field. And so there were 250 of his players and coaches that walked out on the field with him. And Keith Jackson was in the booth, and he didn't know that Keith was going to be in the booth with him. And just tears rolling down his cheek when he heard Keith recognizing him and introducing him to come out on the middle of the field. And anyway, they were close. They were together 9 years.
Now, it was a long time, and we're really excited about you walking for your father tomorrow night at the Georgia High School Football Hall of Fame.
I'm so honored to do that. I will just tell you that when we heard about this to the Broyles family, I stood up as the oldest son and said, this is my gig. I'm taking this one, guys.
Absolutely.
Okay? And that was it. So.
Well, I'm so glad you got to join us here tonight. Glad we get to celebrate your father here at his alma mater. Excited to see you tomorrow night. And, guys, with that, we will give it right back to Brandon and Rusty.
All right.
Thank you so much, Kaylee, and great to hear those great stories of Frank Broyles, the graduate of Decatur High School.
Sounds just like his dad.
Yeah, really.
Wow.
And you love the sense of pride the Broyles family has about seeing the patriarch of that family going into this Georgia High School Football Hall of Fame. And back to live action, Landon Walker picking up where he left off. He's going to run in from 28 yards out for a touchdown. And it is all. They're going to say he's out of bounds? No, they're going to say touchdown. Okay, flag down, so it has been all War Eagles here in the second half.
And they've called them in man-to-man a couple of times, and then when you're able to break that front seven, nobody's there. Even though we got a flag down.
Holding. Offense. 10-yard penalty. Replay. Second down.
See Hood clapping. He's like, I agree with this. See where this could be.
The Woodward Academy Eagles.
Yep, right there. He got Woods. See, he got Woods' jersey, 57. Yep. He did a good job of selling it, too, holding his jersey up. Those D linemen do a good job of that. They can sell that.
They know how to sell it,
They
right?
know how to sell that shoulder, but he did get held there.
101 seconds to go in the third quarter. This one kind of slipping away from Decatur a bit. Walker takes the snap, setting up a screen again, going to dump it off to Isom. Isom gets a block, makes a man miss there at the 30, then goes out of bounds around the 27.
I tell you, Brandon, one thing that I kind of worried about a little bit from Decatur, not having many players.
That's
These
right.
guys have been on the field a long time. When you start seeing teams miss tackles, that's a tired group.
Yeah, I mean, we said this earlier. They really only sub in a normal situation about 2 guys defensively, whereas, you know, a lot of the teams we watch on a Friday night are rolling in, 22 guys over the course of a game defensively. This Decatur team, despite a very small roster, at least in terms of the number of players, came in tonight 8-0.
Flip-flop tied in again. He's covered up, so he's not going out. That must have been off the ball.
Fake to Isom, now throwing. Trying to get Bettis involved again. Flag came in again. There may have been too much contact over there.
There is a flag on the
One of the things that William Felton told us is, when you play against Woodward, you have to have so much respect for their wide receivers. And obviously, and you touched on this earlier, it's really, as we hear the call here.
Defensive pass interference on the defense. 15-yard penalty. First down.
You can really just watch the way in which the momentum kind of shifted away from what Decatur can do up front defensively to what they had to do on the back end to kind of account for the Woodward wide receivers.
Yes. And when you saw a fresh 4 for Decatur, they were giving them fits. Now you don't have that fresh 4. Giving a little more time. Now your guys are having to cover longer on the outside. And when you start covering athletes like Woodward has, you're going to give up some plays, and they have so far.
In the red zone here, brought to you by IBEW, Local 613. Woodward's got 3 receivers off to the right. Isom becomes a running back on the right side. Walker will throw. That's incomplete. I believe Blake Stewart was the intended target.
Yeah, they had some pre-snap discussion there, trying to change the play. A little bit of miscommunication there.
This is a Woodward team that a year ago, after also getting off to a little bit of a slow start to begin the year, went on a postseason run, wins against Houston County, then a massive upset against Gainesville, beat Douglas County in the state semifinals, and then eventually lost to the eventual state champion Thomas County Central in the state championship game. But if you're rattling off a Houston County, a Gainesville, and a Douglas County in consecutive weeks, that's as good a playoff run as anyone's going to go through.
No doubt.
Walker will now run, and he's going to go down.
I don't even want to say this because I can't believe I'm saying it, but next week is the last week of the regular season for most teams. We've got some makeup games past that. But in that normal schedule, we have some huge region games. We got a massive region championship next week with Prince Avenue at Hebron Christian. Carrollton's going to go to Douglas County. That's a big one. Believe that Roswell is at Milton.
Should be, yeah.
That's a huge game. Man, there's going to be a lot of huge games next week.
I should say Milton Roswell will be playing. I can't say that I
one of those will be. It'll determine some important playoffs.
No doubt it will. Abdullah goes in motion. Walker looking right side, wants to throw. Now will have to run. Knocked out of bounds around the 11-yard line.
When you're in man-to-man like that you're open to quarterback hurting you in space. And that's exactly what happened. All the DBs had their backs turned, covering people. The contained man was not there. He got blocked. He picked up a big chunk. Still fourth down.
Talk to John Hunt as that's going to bring on an Afton Rolls field goal try here. You talk to John Hunt about his quarterback, Landon Walker. Says, you go back early in the season, a game in which everybody around Woodward Academy will admit they did not play well against Marist in a Week 3 loss. He says in a game like that, Walker probably just trying to make a little too much happen. Has certainly settled down a lot more since then as the play clock is going to run out. We're going to get a delay of game here. I don't know if that was intentional for a better angle or if they didn't see it, but either way, it's going to be 5
delay of game. Kicking team. 5-yard penalty. Replay fourth down.
Would have been a 28-yard kick, and now they're going to back it up and make it.
I believe they did. I think they did that for a better angle.
Yeah, obviously sometimes when you get down there in a hash like that, back a little bit longer just gives you better.
That's something you ask the kicker before you go on. Hey, do you need 5? The last couple extra points he's kicked has went on top of the roof, so he certainly has the leg.
This one from 34 yards out. No problem with the distance, and he
to the left.
Although it's going to be off to the left, though, and no good.
That kick was no good.
He gets it plenty high enough and obviously long enough, but in this particular case, no good. It's also, a young man that John Hunt says, listen, we feel good about the future. He's going to be a very good kicker, but maybe a little bit of a work in progress right there. While I have a moment, let me also give you another shout out to our friends at Breda Pest Management here. Because with your termite protection to Breda Pest Management, and your rate can be locked in for 10 years. And if live termites are ever found, Breda's going to retreat, fix the damage, and honor the rest of your contract all for free. Breda. They handle bugs and critters.
You read that a lot better than I did last week.
Well, I would have loved to have heard
Rusty
Manziel do it for Breda Pest Management.
Listen. You didn't miss anything there.
I did notice earlier.
I had to give Matt some love, man, for sponsoring everything. I had to listen. Brandon's not here tonight. I got to do the best I can.
I did notice earlier you just kind of rolled right in there and gave us a shout out to the Breda Pest Management score trick. I was like, wow, Rusty did this for a week. All of a sudden he's throwing his sponsor reads and everything else. Like, it's impressive. All right, third quarter comes to an end. On the road, Woodward Academy looks great right now. We'll come back and show you the final stanza right after this.
This is the home of the GOATs, Friday Night Lights, and home of the Ballers. This is home of the Gamers. Peachtree Sports Network is the home of the Hustlers and home of the Speed Junkies. The Peach State plays here. Atlanta's home of live local sports is Peachtree Sports Network.
When looking at your meal, you must always make sure there's enough sauce for every single bite.
Now at McDonald's, buy one, get one for $1. Choose from a double cheeseburger, 6-piece chicken McNuggets, or small fries.
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
I'm Martha Stewart, and this is one of my new kittens. Of course, I want to give them the happiest, healthiest life possible, which is why I choose Pretty Litter. We love this litter because it's tough on odor and helps keep tabs on their health by changing color to show high, low, and typical pH levels. Pretty Litter is also low dust. And whether you're a new cat parent or a lifelong cat lover like me, this low-maintenance litter is the game changer. Try it today. Go to prettylitter.com.
What is GMFB overtime?
It's this, that, and a whole lot of 5 days a week.
Let's go. Here we go.
It's football for everyone.
Weekdays at 10 on Peachtree Sports Network.
Back here with Woodward we got Decatur with the ball. A little bit loud in here.
So you see there on first down, Barron Scott trying to throw, incomplete.
I tell you, this sound system at Decatur,
it is certainly impressive.
It is not lacking.
So much so that I had no idea we'd come back from commercial break.
Couldn't hear
to be completely honest.
I'll be honest, too. If you own one of the condos across from this stadium,
oh, yeah,
it's a wrap on Friday nights.
But I feel like if you're living in kind of, downtown Decatur, you're kind of used to the noise. You kind of want that.
I love the patio look up there. You see a lot
really
of people.
Nice, yeah.
A lot of people up.
One of the things that I love about what we get a chance to do is just the different kind of venues we see.
Encroachment, defense, 5-yard penalty, replay, third down.
Just here in the Atlanta area alone, go see Love It on the Chattahoochee River.
Oh, beautiful.
Go see Midtown High School, nestled right there in Piedmont Park. This is a little bit of a similar type thing where you have some really beautiful buildings in the distance. Just in the Atlanta area alone, like kind of in town, just some really cool venues. We've been lucky to see a lot of these, and I love that part of what we get to do.
That Midtown view. That
so nice.
Line behind it.
You see Scott throwing incomplete to Norwenzo Fari.
Yeah, you see the patio up top there. There's a lot of people just sitting around, and
it's almost like not quite the same thing, but it's almost like a Wrigley Field or something like that, where people are watching from across the street. They're having a good time. I can imagine that's a lot of fun.
Probably a few Capri Suns up there.
You
tonight.
never know, right?
Just watching football and hydrating.
Another pass complete.
Nice
this time to Frazier. Frazier, leading receiver for Decatur, coming into the night. Had a little bit of a quiet night tonight, though. But the Bulldogs kind of finding their way here. Yeah, to what the point you're making earlier, as you see the Frazier catch, you would imagine a lot of the folks who are outside the stadium watching the game, most of them older than 21.
Yes, there's definitely.
You see Stewart, who's had a heck of a night, almost stepped in front of that and got himself an interception to go along with a touchdown and a blocked field goal. And the junior, who is, as you mentioned, long offer list, and I would imagine going to be pretty well known here around the state as he continues the rest of this season, moving into a senior year.
Let's take a look at this freshman in just a second after this play.
2nd and 10 now coming up. Flag comes in.
I want you to look at number 26. That's Miles Tate.
5-yard penalty.
That is a 6'5" freshman defensive end.
Yeah, good-looking athlete for sure.
And he's made some plays tonight.
Yeah, good-looking athlete for sure.
When you start staring down 4 more years and you're 6'5" as a freshman and you're starting at Woodward, look at that. Look how quick he is.
Scott going to throw and reaching out and grabbing it. Caleb Lanier is going to score a touchdown. 47 yards for Lanier.
Great throw, great pressure by the freshman, but he stands in there and delivers a strike to his guy. Lanier just runs right underneath that.
It's our electrifying play of the half, brought to you by England and Stubbs. You're talking about the freshman Tate. This is a Woodward Academy defense decimated by graduations off last year's state runner-up. Lost a couple of key transfers, too. And so there's a lot more space for young players to play than would perhaps sometimes be the case at Woodward Academy. Abel Florence gets his PAT, and now it's 28-14. Yeah,
a ball game now.
Yeah, because normal cadence here, Decatur should still touch it twice.
Minimum twice.
Yeah, they should still get 2 more possessions. So defense here creates an opportunity for Decatur.
Yep, you don't have to kick on sides. You can play defense here, plenty of time. You have got to tackle in space against these Woodward receivers.
Still 10:59 to go. By the way, how about a shout out to our friends at Gordo's Cheese Dip, the social media showcase here. When you snap a photo and use the hashtag Gordo's and score Atlanta, you're going to have a chance to be featured on air during next week's game. It's Fiesta every day with our friends at Gordo's Cheese Dip. Always a fun celebration.
That little Prince Avenue crew there wins the middle school championship.
Congratulations to them.
Let's see some of those kids again next week as a lot of their big brothers will be playing for Prince Avenue versus Hebron next Friday night prime time.
Kick away.
Got to cover.
Going to be returnable now for Abdullah. He's 20. Be careful here. Knocked down to the 34-yard line.
I just love to kick off that way, man. I know there's safety stuff, and I know we're doing it, but I just love that kickoff when you got to cover. And I kind of hope we keep it like
visually
this.
just more appealing to the eye.
Yeah, I can't we keep this way in high school at least.
Well, as we say all the time, it's just fun to have the special, not always for the coaches, but for the rest of us, fun to have special teams be such a big part of these Georgia high school games. Ball rests at the 33. We'll see if Decatur has anything left on defense. Rusty's told you they've had a lot of guys playing a lot of snaps tonight. Can they get the stop that could really get them back in this game? Straight ahead run by Walker. Makes it easy for himself to the 38. Probably got 5 on first down.
Yeah, just simple quarterback design run.
Clock ticking, 10:33.
Woodward, they'll have that all night long if you can pick up 5. A lot of snaps for these Decatur guys here. See if they can buckle up and get one more key stop right here and get the ball back for their offense.
We'll see if there's any thought at all putting in the air. Young goes in motion. Yeah, they're just going to let Walker do his thing.
Boy, he's slippery, man.
Yeah, I tell you, good job on second effort to actually get that extra yard, preventing it from being 3rd and 1. Walker found like an extra yard there and took a big hit as he did, and that's going to move the chains, make it a first down. That was a kind of a hidden yardage moment there for Walker.
That is a 3-minute first down, because if you run it smart here, don't drop the ball, even if you just run, you're going to eat up close to 3 minutes.
Let's see if Decatur can do something to make Walker get rid of it, or if the Navy commit at quarterback is going to be able to do all of this himself.
They're in man-to-man coverage.
Okay, so that time they are in the backfield. Almost missed him slipping out there, but nonetheless, Hood kind of leading the way for a tackle for a loss.
He just tackled everybody. Just tackled his guy, both guards, quarterback. I'm going to make sure I get the right one to the ground.
It's almost like he's playing human dominoes. He's like, if I knock enough people down, the guy with the ball should go down eventually too.
Watch Hood come in here. He tackled the whole pile.
So lost 2 yards on that. Clock now going under 9 minutes in the game. Play clock shows 15.
Big play here behind the chain, 2nd and 12.
It has been Landon Walker calling his own number. Yeah, you can't do that.
And those types of things right there, Brandon.
Encroachment. Defense.
Oh, wow.
5-yard penalty. We play second down.
When you're tired and you want to make a play, and all you can think about is I've got to get upfield.
I thought it was a false start on Zayden Young. I was watching number 11, Zayden Young, in motion. I thought
I believe 12.
was guilty of a false start, but unfortunately, if you're a Decatur fan, it was a jump off sides before that, and boy, you give all that tackle for lost yardage back.
Right back.
Yeah, you're right, Rusty. That's a tough break if you're Decatur there.
You're just tired, thinking about making a play, lose a little concentration, and give up 5. Easy.
Zayden Young goes in motion again, goes to the left side.
Blitz.
Walker now going to set up a screen. Easy pass to Isom, then Isom goes down at the 45. So now it's 3rd down coming up. So interesting moment here. You get the impression the Decatur's kind of hanging on by a string, but a lot could change if they can get off the field here. Will Walker have to throw it? Play clock shows 13, and now they're going to call timeout.
Woodward.
And it's Woodward who wants to think about it here. They know another first down, as you said, goes a long way towards eating this clock, which makes the comeback much more difficult for Decatur. So a little bit of drama showing up here. We'll take a quick timeout and show you 3rd down right after this.
So when I got in the program, I was 18. At the time, I think the most appealing thing was, I could start out going to school and making money while I'm going to school. Not coming out in 4 or 5 years, $30,000, $40,000 in debt. That was the biggest attraction to this. I got in 3 days after graduation and hadn't looked back.
The Georgia Sheet Metal JETC provides apprentices with free training and careers that are stable and essential to the operation of the modern world. Both craft jobs and management positions offer lucrative pay with benefits as well as the stability of a growing industry. Skilled journeymen in the sheet metal industry are essential to our community now and in the future. Learn more about free technical training with no student debt at our website, careersinsheetmetal.com.
Planting season is here, and it's time to give your yard the perfect touch from the professionals at Personal Touch Lawn Care. Why Personal Touch? Courteous service, attention to detail, and a desire to give you the best lawn in your neighborhood.
They have the knowledge and skills to do anything that I would need.
Call now for a 25% discount on design and consultation services.
Big enough to serve you, small enough to know you.
Personal Touch Lawn Care, 770-908-1238, or online at ptlcatlanta.com.
Sweetheart, please don't forget to wear your seatbelt.
I got it, Mom.
In the blink of an eye, so many tomorrows can disappear. Buckle up for your future. Every trip, every time. A message from the Governor's Office of Highway Safety.
All right, welcome back. Big moment here coming up. 3rd and 8. Ball rests at the 46. Woodward Academy has a 2-touchdown lead. A first down gives them a chance to run more clock. Decatur desperate for a comeback. They need a stop to get it. Walker, the Navy commit, takes the snap. Pressure coming on him. He gets rid of it. It's incomplete. And Decatur has forced the 4th down.
Even better, it stops the clock for Decatur.
Luke Dibble had the pass pressure that time.
Saves about 35 seconds there with the ball being incomplete. Brings up a 4th down. You save a timeout. Love the pressure. You see 5 there. They brought an extra guy. Was able to get to him and get the ball back with plenty of time, Brandon.
Jackson Smith, just 7 punts on the season. As a senior, his first year playing football. This will be high but short, and then going out of bounds. And they're going to say out of bounds there at the 30-yard line.
At the 30.
So not terrible field position here for Decatur.
Plenty of time.
And by the way, let's take a look at our Decatur schedule here, brought to you by the Georgia Sheet Metal and Air Conditioning Contractors National Association. Obviously, it's an 8-0 record. One of the things that Coach Felton told us this week is, hey, listen, that's only pressure if you allow for it to be. Right. They're trying not to put pressure on themselves. We told you they've been undefeated, but not ranked. However, teams that they have beaten are ranked. So clearly they're feeling the pride that comes from being undefeated this late in the year. There's a pass, and it's going to be intercepted on first down, picked off right away by Tyree Myrick. A huge play defensively for the War Eagles, and Myrick is still going. Flags coming in all over the place. I'm talking about like a million flags all over the place. All of that, though, coming after the interception.
Yep, what a huge play there. Just force one over the middle. Going to be post-possession penalty. See him staring it down and just throws right into double coverage. And that's one of those things you just look and say, what did you see there? And you got to understand it's a high school quarterback.
Yeah.
And it happens sometimes. Just trying to make a play.
Myrick is a great story in that, John Hunt will tell you, maybe as competitive as any player on this roster. And they've really used him in a lot of different positions, trying to find a home for him. This is a guy who, kind of starts off at Sam linebacker. They move him to defensive back, kind of now settling as the will.
Touchdown is good. During the play, personal foul on the offense. It's going to be on the try.
Oh, wow.
All right, yeah, so the touchdown is good. So I guess you're going to get a personal foul on Decatur for some extracurricular, obviously.
Correction, the penalty will be assessed on the kickoff.
So you'll tack that on to the kickoff here. So Myrick gets his touchdown. When you saw all the flags coming out, you almost thought it might be one of those things where it's going to
back or something.
come back, and there were flags flying everywhere.
He almost didn't go in the end zone. Got a little lackadaisical there at the end, just kind of crossed it.
Rolls will try the PAT. It's good.
That kick was good.
And now Woodward Academy has built the kind of lead that you sort of feel like is going to stand up the rest of the night. Decatur had its chance, got the fourth down, got the defense off the field, and yet another big play. And it's interesting. It's interesting that for Woodward Academy, that defense so instrumental in their run in the playoffs a year ago, it's ultimately going to be defense that helps them get it done here tonight. After that Myrick interception. With that, we'll also say hello to our friends at Breda Pest Management here once again. Listen, if critters are creeping in your attic, you know what I'm talking about here, like flying squirrels, things like that, you better call Breda Pest Management to get a highly trained expert to kick those critters out. Under the Breda Wildlife Guarantee, if any critters return, you're covered at no additional cost. Breda, they handle bugs and critters. So 7 minutes to go here. Talked about John Hunt a lot tonight, the Woodward Academy coach. Amazing resume for him. We mentioned this earlier. Guy who coached the NFL, coached a couple different spots in the SEC, and had a chance to ask him this week, how do you use that experience to help these guys? He said, I told a great story this week. What I thought was a great story, he told it to his players, that he didn't really feel like they were having their best week of practice. And he went back to his time coaching the Redskins offensive line saying, listen, Chris Samuels, great player, got hurt. We had to bring in essentially a street free agent to start that day. He learned the whole playbook, learned everything because he was hungry playing for a paycheck. He wanted to get paid, wanted to stay in the league. Man. He said that's the viewpoint you got to take on a game like this. This isn't just one of 14 weeks. You mentioned this earlier because of the ramifications of how you advance in the postseason. This is our biggest game. This is essentially for the region title, and you got to be as hungry as some guy in the NFL fighting for a paycheck. This is your chance to kind of fight for your postseason opportunity. So Hunt there using his time in the NFL to teach these kids even right now.
Well, how good a tackle was Chris Samuel?
Oh, you talk about that for sure.
There's the Capri Sun crowd.
There you go. Had a great time.
That's a great view, man. I mean, look at that on a Friday night.
Yeah, it's wonderful. I mean, they're almost eye level to where we are, just on the other side of the field. A little farther away. Yeah, a couple of times a year you get me climbing a ladder to get to our broadcast position. That's always an adventure. Walker's, not Walker. Sack there going against Baron Scott.
Yeah, just trying to do a little too much here and trying to let play develop. Again, I mean, a lot of guys have played both ways, and it's just a numbers game right now for Decatur.
Rocco Zaroyans comes in.
Nice play there.
Gets a sack. Another one of those guys that's kind of changed positions. Zaroyans was a Mike linebacker. Moves over to defensive end. He's had great success there, and that kind of opened the door for Chandler Bell, another one of these young guys.
Number 7, Christian Jamison on the reception.
Who's had a nice night.
A third down and 12 to go.
It's definitely been kind of pieced together here defensively. A lot of young, some inexperienced players, but it perhaps is coming together for the right time for a Woodward Academy team that you would imagine is going to be a pretty tough out in the 5A playoffs.
5A is going to be, wow.
Scott setting up. He took a big hit.
He took a shot.
Then there's going to be a fight for the football. Incomplete.
That pass fell incomplete.
This freshman, I'm telling you, he is coming off the edge.
One of the things that Hunt will say is, compared to other 5A teams, one of the things that makes Woodward a lot different, and you see it right there, Rusty, he absolutely came like a missile off that edge on the pass rush.
I'm telling you, man.
Woodward probably plays more guys two ways than most of the 5A teams do. For instance, we saw, Milton Gainesville the other day. They don't play nearly as many, although in some cases, even teams like that still play some guys two ways.
Yeah, you don't see a lot When I looked at the roster off yesterday, I said, man, that's light for a 5A school. And I go watch some tape. I'm like, hey, they've got some guys, but.
Yeah, Woodward Academy's enrollment probably a little bit more in line with like a 3A school.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, we've talked about the multiplier plenty and how that's calculated. And that punt's going to be blocked. The punter Fisher also took a pretty big shot on that. Seems like he's going to be okay. But another big play for Woodward Academy on special teams now. Up 3 touchdowns and ball coming their way deep in Bulldog territory. So it is all going the way of the War Eagles here right now.
Big win for Athens Academy tonight. Josh Alexander and his crew, I believe they clinched the region championship. I believe they have a bye next week. So, Brandon, if I'm correct, they will not play a game for 3 weeks.
Wow.
Bye. It'll be 3 weeks from tonight when they play again. Look at Howard and Cartersville, 35 all in the 4th.
So 5:42 to go, 4th quarter of play. Boy, a long layoff like that. You don't really know.
It's crazy because they get a bye, and they've had a bye here with the end of the last week of the season. So
you see Isom on the handoff down to the 5-yard line, got about 6. Hey, don't forget, if you love high school sports, you'll love the Georgia High School Sports Daily, not just football, all sports, every day live from 12 to 1 p.m. on the Peachtree Sports Network. It's powered by IBEW Local 613. You want volleyball rankings and all the sports throughout the year, not just football, but all the great Georgia High School sports. You get all of that when it comes to the Georgia High School Sports Daily every single day from noon to 1 p.m. on the Peachtree Sports Network.
That is a fantastic show.
Gorgeous studio.
Oh, my goodness.
Gorgeous studio.
I encourage all parents, they cover every sport that is going on. It's not just a recruiting and football show. Volleyball. They're about to do competition. They're about to do softball next week.
Straight ahead for a touchdown. Isom.
Yes. Cheerleading state championships coming up.
Going to go into the end zone, and Woodward Academy is going to extend its lead further. What a night for the War Eagles.
Tell you what, they're getting hot at the right time.
They are.
They're getting the pieces of the puzzle together. They're getting the band back together, as you sort of speak, going into the playoffs.
Yeah, obviously the first 3 weeks of the season, it's number 1 in 6A Carrollton. It's a game that John Hunt will say, listen, we didn't really want this game. We just couldn't really find anybody else that wanted to play us off of a state finalist appearance from a year ago.
I can assure you, he called a lot of teams before he got down to Carrollton and said, y'all want to play.
And then, Collins Hill the next week, and Collins Hill has had a great season, really resurrecting that program after a state championship a couple of years ago. And, he said, John Hunt says the size that we saw from Collins Hill, we didn't handle that very well, and really kind of felt like that was something to be concerned about tonight. But I would say in this moment, Woodward Academy has clearly handled it better. Got blown out the following week by Marist. They'll all admit they did not play well that day, but it's about to be 6 straight wins since then, and really, as you said, kind of coming into their own as the postseason gets ready to begin.
You look at another team hot. Looks like Roswell's up on Gainesville late in that game.
What a tough region that is.
What a region.
Yeah, we talked about the region down in the middle and south part of the state that includes so many former state champions, and between Milton, Roswell, and Gainesville, all in the same region.
Cale upsets Cambridge tonight. That's Cambridge's first loss of the season. I heard Mooney Gibson, the sophomore running back, had 4 touchdowns for them.
How about that? What a night. The kick away by Smith, fielded inside the 5. That's Frazier. And you see, a lot of frustration here.
Yeah,
some kind of pushing and shoving after the play.
Grayson played tonight against South Gwinnett, Brandon. They have not played a football game until since September the 20th. They've been off for 6 weeks. And let me explain to you what happened.
Haven't they really?
They've had a bye. Then they had the storm, the fire in Rockdale County.
That's right.
So 3 of those teams were unable to even play. Then they were going to play Newton. They had to reschedule that game. And they finally played tonight, which is 6 weeks since they played.
This is one of the weirdest high school seasons we've had. Since 2020, certainly.
And really, just to put things in perspective, those teams from Conyers are not even in school. They haven't played a game. Rockdale County hasn't had a practice, I think, 3 or 4 weeks.
Honestly,
not a practice.
I have to confess, I did not know that.
Yes,
I did not know that was still going on.
It is a tough situation for those people in that region.
For those who are not aware, there was a
chemical storm,
chemical
fire.
Yeah, fire that created unsafe air conditions.
Yes.
I guess you would just have to say.
Yep. I don't even know. I know that Rockdale County took the forfeit against Grayson, I think, last week.
Wow, what a strange situation. That's a Grayson team who obviously, you think about some of the top players in the state.
Yeah. They played South Gwinnett tonight.
Tyler Atkinson, of course, and
Joseph and Bachu.
Yeah.
I mean, they've got a lot of guys over there.
By the way, speaking of South Gwinnett, obviously tomorrow, South Gwinnett Comet going to the Georgia High School Football Hall of Fame with David Green.
David Green. Saw you interview him the other night from the Mark Rick Dog Nation things. You guys did a great job with that.
Thank you.
That was fantastic.
So happy to see Dave. Dave's always been one of my favorite guys. I just really like him a lot.
I had a chance to play golf a couple years ago with David Green, and I didn't realize that he can stripe it like that.
Oh, yeah. Quarterbacks typically
I
think
tell
pretty good
you
golfers.
right now, man, that guy can smoke a golf ball. I love that he told you he's got like 10 of his high school teammates.
I'm so happy to hear that.
You're talking about some hydrating now.
Oh, yeah.
So 10 South Gwinnett Comets get in town tomorrow night for David Green.
For sure. Well,
stories are going to get better. And they're going to enjoy tomorrow night. And that's what it's about.
A Woodward Academy player was a little slow to get up. It seems like he's okay. That's Eli Lyles, but being helped up okay. And we talked about the Woodward Academy schedule. We'll see that here, brought to you by the Georgia Sheet Metal and Air Conditioning Contractors Association. So, number 1, Carrollton in 6A. That was a week 1 loss for Woodward. Then Collins Hill after that. Then Marist. And then after that, really kind of turning it on. And they've been kind of locked in ever since. And, I mean, I do think Woodward Academy is one of those teams you don't want to see in the playoffs right now. Scott going to run the option here, pitching to Britt. Trying to string that out.
Good job containing it. I can tell you this, and nobody else, I can tell you right now that every team in that bracket is looking to when they have to play Marist, or when they could potentially, because we watched them lose in the semifinals last year, and that quarterback is back. And when you talk about a senior quarterback that can run the triple, that's a bad deal.
And Alan Chadwick has said, and he's not one prone to hyperbole, like counting Sean McVay and everybody, this is one of the best option quarterbacks they have ever had.
Jack Hewitt, I think. Hewitt.
Hewitt, one of the best option quarterbacks they've ever had. He has said that multiple times, including to us last year.
Marist is going to be a nightmare to prepare for anybody. Paul Etheridge, former Georgia Bulldog offensive coordinator there. They are going to be a handful for anybody in 4A.
Two minutes now in the game. Woodward Academy is up. Pass incomplete. So on the Decatur side, you go back to when William Felton first began his career here. Undefeated run to begin that 2020 season. He says, listen, we've been in that spot before, and yet after that, the season did not end the way they wanted to. And he said, you look around, you're like almost, okay, all those wins that built up to this, what was that for? It didn't finish the way they wanted to then. That's kind of a motivational battle cry, I think, for Decatur right now, where, hey, they want to not just get to 8-0, but kind of build on that start. Now, obviously, it's not going to end with a win here tonight. But if you're Decatur, where do you go from here? As a nice play being made in the backfield.
I still like what I saw out of them tonight. They had a couple of plays that changed the momentum of the game. You give up an opening kickoff. Then you're 28-14, 7:50 left. You do what you need to do. First play back, you throw a pick.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like little things like that. The window of opportunity to beat a team like Woodward Academy shrinks so much. But when you get into November, those chances shrink even more. So you have to take advantage of everything, and you cannot give up an opening kickoff return for a touchdown.
Going to try to complete a pass there to Caleb Lanier.
Got a flag down the middle.
Flag coming in. I also think, the best of Decatur probably includes a little bit more of the sophomore running back Darius White than we've seen
Never
tonight.
really kind of got him going, like lathered him up a little bit. They also play from behind a lot of nights.
That changes
Pass
the equation.
interference on the defense, 15 yard. First down.
74 seconds left here. Hillgrove, another undefeated team coming in tonight. They lose to Harrison. Big shootout battle between Colquitt County and Camden County. Colquitt's another one of those teams that shook off some early season losses, and they played much better here in the month of October.
Don't let me get Rusty Bracket nerd out on you and start telling you what's going on, because I've already looked through the brackets and I've put people. I'll say this, if nothing, and I'm just forecasting, so don't start texting me, coaches. If things kind of finish the way they look, North Cobb and Walton are going to play two of those South Georgia teams. So that means either Lowndes, Colquitt, Camden County, or Richmond Hill are coming to Cobb County in 2 weeks to play one of those two teams.
Yeah, because of the Richmond Hill upset of Valdosta last week, Region 1 is very difficult to kind of project right now.
Yes, so this Richmond Hill Camden game might wind up determining who gets that fourth.
And we should explain, a lot of our audience obviously very well aware of this, but some folks don't follow this stuff quite as closely, that the bracket is aligned before the season, so regions are going to match up against it. South is traveling north, for instance.
Yeah, Region 1, Team 4. Yes, those are set.
That is with the exception of the private school bracket that is going to use some power ratings this year.
And 1A, 2A, and 3A public. I didn't know that till this week. They're using.
Okay.
So I had to really wait a minute, I didn't realize that. So when we get into these bracket shows starting next week and trying to finish some things off, I encourage everybody to stay around tonight because we'll go over scores. But I encourage you to stay around for post game for every show after all these games, because we're going to have to start putting matchups together. There's going to be some Tuesday night games. There's going to be some Wednesday night games. And that following week, there's going to be, I'm told, between 8 and 12 Monday night games to try to finish the season.
Abel Florence going to come on and try a field goal here. This will be 48 yards. It's a long kick. It's incomplete. So I ask this with all sincerity. How are we already talking about bracket shows? I know that's a cliche. People say this all the time. I do get that.
It hurt me today. Really
how are we blowing through a regular season? As strange as this one is, and you said so many teams are trying to figure out a way to finish their season given all of the lost time for the various things that we've dealt with. And obviously it's just been such an unusual year for the state of Georgia scholastically.
You remember how excited you and I were when we were at Corky Kell luncheon? We were like two kids in a candy store.
Ready to get started, and all of a sudden now we're talking about final week of the regular season, and
stop.
It just goes by so fast.
Stop. It's crazy.
Well, what scares you is this goes by so fast, which means our entire lives are
going by so fast, man. Blink our eyes.
But you have your eye on for college football tomorrow. Obviously, we talked a lot about Walker tonight. Navy, Notre Dame, and noon tomorrow.
Notre Dame, I'm telling you, everybody needs to watch Navy, because this quarterback is a talent equalizer, and Navy is a threat to get in the college football playoff, in my opinion. If you have not watched the Sling T, tune in tomorrow from MetLife Field at noon, because I'm going to be very interested in how they play Notre Dame.
But tonight, all eyes on Woodward Academy. They come on the road, a raucous crowd against an undefeated opponent, and the War Eagles of Woodward Academy, traveling over from College Park, make quite a statement here, winning 42-14 for our Hall of Fame game, with the Georgia High School Football Hall of Fame induction ceremony on tap for tomorrow. We get the weekend started off here tonight with many of our Hall of Fame inductees on hand, seeing the Woodward Academy War Eagles, much like a year ago, truly coming into form as this postseason starts to loom here. A statement win in the region, and a reminder to everybody in the 5A classification, the team that made a big push in 6A, going to be a very tough out in 5A here this year. We're going to be standing by for a chance to hear from John Hunt, the Woodward Academy coach, in just a moment. Kaylee Mansell will be standing by with him. She's done a great job all night. I believe that Kaylee is ready to go, so let's get ready to send it down to Kaylee Mansell right now.
All right, and welcome to our winning coaches interview presented to you by the Gwinnett County Sheriff's Office. Of course, it's John Hunt from Woodward Academy. Look, we haven't seen it all season. That kickoff return, first play of the game. How much momentum did that give you going forward in your win tonight?
Actually, it's funny you mentioned that because, I was nervous about this game because they're so big up front and they're such a physical team. And, we're getting the ball first, and I'm like, man, why can we just return a touchdown and take a little pressure off me? And I'll be danged if Josiah didn't do it. And Josiah's done that before, and he's a wonderful player, and that kind of gave us a little momentum and took a little pressure off the old coach here, too.
Yeah, it certainly was electrifying for us to see as well. And I feel like when you look at the success of your program, it's easy to look at your team from last year, state runner-ups, but this team is entirely different, almost reinvented, if you will. What is it about this team that makes them different?
Well, we preach resiliency. We're so young. Last year we had 22 seniors, now we have 9. So we're playing a bunch of young guys, especially up front. And when we played a really good team like that, whose defensive front is probably, awesome. And I was nervous about that, but our young guys just resilient, just kept fighting, and our best players are on the perimeter, and I do my best to try to get them in those guys' hands, and we held up. We did okay.
9 seniors. Sounds like you might be in good shape.
For next year, but right now, early on, going 0-3, of course, they were good teams, but that was rough. But, we preached, every week getting a little bit better regardless of who we played. Now, we knew who we were playing this week, obviously, for the region championship. And our guys hung in there and fought.
Well, tonight, Coach, you are region champs. Congratulations.
Thank you very much. Sounds sweet. I appreciate that.
After this, we will be right back with our MVP.
When you have a bad back, you're limited. You know what I mean? I tried everything. It just never got better. I got on the teeter, I stretched out. I felt like this is something right here. That's where it changed my life.
Discover Teeter Fit Spine, the natural back pain solution that has helped over 3 million people find real relief. Simply lie back and let gravity do the work. Teeter Fit Spine helps realign your spine, relax tense muscles, and reduce nerve pressure to naturally relieve your back pain in just a few minutes a day.
When you start stretching, you could feel like everything just ease. Oh, gosh, I feel good.
FDA registered, Teeter Fit Spine is indicated for 10 back pain conditions, including herniated discs, sciatica, degenerative disc disease, and more. Only Teeter Fit Spine is designed with a decompressive surface and integrated tools to help deepen your stretch and enhance your relief.
I just got all my movement back. I could go out, walk the dog, play basketball with my kids. It's just, I'm a new person.
FitSpine heat-treated steel is 73% stronger and lasts 10 times longer, making it the most durable, comfortable, and effective inversion table ever.
This is steel that's gonna last forever. It's so well made, you feel safe the minute you get in it. My back feels the best it's ever felt. I can move, stretch, and do things that guys half my age aren't doing. This is the best investment I ever made on my back.
No pills, no appointments. Get natural back pain relief at home in just minutes a day. Save big on Teeter Fit Spine for a limited time at tryteeter.com. Plus, get 0 down, 0% interest, free shipping, and a 60-day return guarantee. Live more, ache less at tryteeter.com.
And welcome to the Tailgate Show, brought to you by GeorgiaConstructionCareers.com. I'm Kelly Mansell with our Robbie Hunter MVP tonight, who is going to be Landon Walker. I just talked to your coach. He said coming in here tonight, they're physical, they're tough up front. He knew what y'all were getting into. What was the offensive game plan, and how do you feel like you executed it tonight?
All week we just knew we had to execute the offense and take care of the football. We didn't need to do anything special but to just stick to our game plan of just moving the chains, taking care of the football, and getting the ball out to our playmakers. I feel like we did that tonight.
Well, tonight you are region champs, but you also do it on the road. How difficult is it truly to play in an away environment like this when it really was so loud tonight?
Coming into this atmosphere, it was honestly motivation. Like, the crowd was in it. Our student section showed out, and it was just an amazing atmosphere, almost a playoff-like atmosphere. So that really got the juices flowing and really motivated us to go get this dub on the road.
I could see that. All right, here's what's going to happen. I'm going to take your microphone.
Okay.
So we're going to give you, this is our Kroger game ball. It's been signed by all of the MVPs of the games that we've covered this far. Amazing performance tonight. I know it wasn't easy. It was even loud to the point where we were struggling to hear up here, so I can't imagine what it was like for you on the field having to stay focused. So you certainly deserve this game ball tonight. All right, you can give it back. And then we've got one more thing for you. I'm going to give you this back. Tonight, based on your performance and the one you got here, you are our Robbie Hunter MVP, and you get to take this home with you.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
You're very welcome. Congratulations on the win. Congrats on being region champs, and can't wait to see what you guys do down the season.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
All right, with that, we will be right back with our Gatorade Players of the Game.
A journeyman with Local 85, when you turn out, you can be hitting six figures.
Hey, I have your back, you have my back. We're going to do this together. We're one for all for one.
College just wasn't for me. Let's look into actual career jobs that wouldn't take college, where I wouldn't, lose money and all that. Instead of losing a lot more money at the end, why not make money and make more money at the end?
Are you interested in becoming a deputy or a jailer? The Gwinnett County Sheriff's Office is hiring and looking for individuals passionate about protecting and serving their community. If you are 18 years or older, join our team by visiting gogcso.com for more information. Gwinnett County, together we can make a difference.
Breda's better at keeping termites out.
Besides the fact that we're sending a licensed inspector to your home, we're also using state-of-the-art technology. So we put those two things together to give you the best possible termite inspection. Quite simply, Breda is better at keeping termites out. Only Breda protects your home with a complete liquid barrier from Termador. Your rate is locked in for 10 years, so if live termites are ever found, Breda will retreat, all for free.
Breda, Breda, no need to be afraid of bugs.
Shot for Pierce, and who else but Jesse Bates? Moore fires through. Touchdown Atlanta. That goes nowhere. Find the pylon for the Atlanta touchdown. Sacked for the end zone. And touchdown Atlanta. What a throw.
And welcome back to the Tailgate Show, brought to you by GeorgiaConstructionCareers.com. I'm Kaylee Vansell with our Gatorade Players of the Game, our Offensive Player of the Game, Josiah Abdullah, and our Defensive Player of the Game, Tyree Myrick. Josiah, I want to start with you because, in actuality, the entire game starts with you when you run that ball back. I talked to Coach Hunt. He said it took so much pressure off of him as a coach. Like, at what yard line did you know that you were about to break through and kick it or return it all the way back?
I can't lie. After I got past that first block, I knew it was a touchdown. I saw green grass, and I had to turn it on and just dust them.
Yeah, we saw you break into a whole nother gear, like once you got into 30 right there. I didn't even know it was possible for somebody to go that long. I imagine you had to have been exhausted by the end of it, right?
A little bit. I was ready to get back. The adrenaline was kicking. I was ready to get back on the field.
And that's what you practiced for. Now, Tyree, for you, you had that interception mid-game. What was your read on the coverage, and what was going through your mind when you got the ball in your hands?
We were playing 22 right there, so I was just basically dropping into my zone, getting under the third receiver, and he threw it right to me, and I just found the end zone after that. It was easy, so, that's something we work on in practice.
And from what I know about you guys, you took some early losses this season, won 5 straight, and now you're region champs tonight. What have been the biggest improvements that you've seen from this team from start to finish?
Our young players, they stepped up a lot. They've been the key factors in what we needed to be a successful team. So I can count on the young players and the sophomores and stuff that's been playing for us well. So that's something that's been a big success for us.
Well, guys, I want to congratulate you on your win tonight. I know it wasn't easy. I know y'all came in prepared, so well-deserved. And, guys, we will be right back after this with more scores from across the state.
A journeyman with Local 85, when you turn out, you can be hitting six figures.
Hey, I have your back, you have my back, we're going to do this together. We're one for all for one.
College just wasn't for me. Let's look into actual career jobs that wouldn't take college, where I wouldn't, lose money and all that. Instead of losing a lot more money at the end, why not make money and make more money at the end?
Are you interested in becoming a deputy or a jailer? The Gwinnett County Sheriff's Office is hiring and looking for individuals passionate about protecting and serving their community. If you are 18 years or older, join our team by visiting gogcso.com for more information. Gwinnett County, together we can make a difference.
At Breda, we made the decision 20 years ago to invest in infrared cameras. The infrared gives us a unique advantage because we can pinpoint that termite damage. We then use our microwave technology, which allows us to localize our treatment so we can get rid of those termites quicker before that damage becomes extensive. And that saves you a lot of money as a homeowner.
Breda, Breda, no need to be afraid of bugs.
For a healthier future together, look to Northside Hospital.
Sweetheart, please don't forget to wear your seatbelt.
I got it, Mom.
In the blink of an eye, so many tomorrows can disappear. Buckle up for your future. Every trip, every time. A message from the Governor's Office of Highway Safety.
And welcome back to the Tailgate Show, brought to you by GeorgiaConstructionCareers.com. I'm Kelly Mansell with Rusty Mansell. Did you get the hair off your mic?
No, it was a piece of grass.
I was gonna say, it was probably my hair if it was the hair anyway. But look, I don't think you can talk about this game without talking about that opening kickoff return from Josiah Abdullah. I mean, once that happens, the momentum's all going your way. It doesn't surprise me that they won big here tonight.
It's kind of ironic. You see a kid that started in Georgia Elite Classic as a freshman, and I first got on the scene then seeing him. He had 20 offers as a freshman. Tonight as a senior, kind of forget him a little bit because he's been committed for a while, but to watch him come out the very first play, kind of say, hey, I'm still that guy. I enjoyed watching him play tonight.
And how about them having so much success with only 9 seniors compared to the 22 they had last year at state runner-up?
Yeah, I talked to Coach Ryan Davis, co-defense coordinator, handles all their recruiting there, has done a really good job. He said, Rusty, we're getting better. He goes, but we're so young. We've had to kind of shrink everything down, but Woodward Academy getting right at the right time.
Yeah, region champs here tonight. And we're at that point in the season where you start to see region championship senior night. So let's take a look at some scores from all across the state. Let's see what we've got on the board here. Westlake had a tough start to the season. They bounced back tonight with a win over East Coweta, 48-35. And how about Colquitt over Camden, 51-41? That's a big win in South Georgia.
Those two games at the bottom of the screen are in Region 1. And remember, Richmond Hill upset Valdosta last week. Lowndes beating Richmond Hill now kind of throws that, all the ratings and that. But Colquitt County goes to Kingsland and wins a massive game for Sean Calhoun. That region right there, to get the 4 teams, is going to be a lot of calculations going on.
All right, we've got another set of scores for you. Let's see what we've got on the board here. Douglas County saw them earlier this season get a big one over Chapel Hill, 42-0. They're continuing to look dominant. That's going to be one of those teams that you're going to see late in the playoffs.
Well, one of my favorite coaches in the state, Johnny White, he knows what's coming next week. Everybody had this game circled as soon as the schedule was out. The Carrollton Trojans are coming to Douglas County next week. The region championship on the line. You want to talk about D1 players all over the field. What about Grayson? Grayson hasn't played a game since September the 20th. They haven't played a football game in 6 weeks because of the region they're in that had the chemical fire. All those teams have been unable to go to school. They have been school, haven't been able to practice. So Grayson plays their first game in 6 weeks and comes out and beats a tough South Gwinnett team. Kirby Smart was there. A lot of Tennessee coaches were there. A lot of guys. Walton with another big win, landmark wins. But shout out to Grayson, sticking together, having to take a 6-week break in the season.
Yeah, a lot of eyes on the 5-star linebacker Tyler Atkinson. All right, we've got more scores on the board for you. One of the teams that we talked about last week, Brookwood, who's had their struggles throughout the years, but this season they've really remained resilient. A word that I heard a lot tonight from John Hunt. They get the win over Duluth, 43-36. Thomas County Central over Houston County, 41-31. You can't count Thomas County Central out ever.
I'll say a region championship tonight. I believe North Gwinnett wins the region by that win against Norcross tonight, but Thomas County Central pretty much locks up that number 2 seed in that region behind Lee County. And Roswell and Gainesville in the fourth quarter, still 48-45, a shootout. That's going to determine, but Thomas County Central, from what I understand now, locks up the number 2 seed in that region behind Lee County.
Yeah, if Roswell wins this game next week, it'll be this region championship between them and a really good Milton team.
Yep.
All right, and now for our next set of scores, Perry with a win over Benedictine, 31-27. That is huge for that Perry team.
Yeah, Perry comes back and gets hot right at the late of the year. Unfortunately for Benedictine, they were on a roll. They lose their starting quarterback for the season. It's kind of really put them in a bind. Ware County, I think, on paper now, wins that region by beating Warner Robins tonight. Cale, maybe with the upset of the night, and not necessarily an upset. They do beat an undefeated Cambridge team, though, 28-14. I heard Mooney Gibson, the sophomore running back, had 4 touchdowns for them. North Oconee, I say it every week, they don't get enough attention. Harrison Faulkner, Landon Rowland, all that crew just continue to roll along. North Oconee is going to be a tough outing for 4A.
And our inside source, Jordan, has just let us know that Roswell did win that game against Milton. It will be the region championship next week with them and Milton. All right, let's look at our next set of scores. We've got Jefferson over Cherokee Bluff, 35-7, and then Carver Atlanta, big win over Lovett, 47-17.
Yeah, Coach Miles just seems every year to get Carver Atlanta rolling, and there they go. Savannah Christian likely, in my opinion, will be the number 1 rated, power-rated team in that single-A bracket. But our game next week between Prince Avenue and Hebron Christian, the winner might have something to do with it. But right now, I think Savannah Christian on paper is going to be the number 1 rated team, and those power ratings come out in 2 weeks.
All right, and this is our last set of scores we have on the board. All right, I guess we're there.
Well, we're back.
There
We're
we
back.
go.
We're
We
back.
got it back. All right, Fellowship Christian with a win over Wesleyan, 42-17. A lot of private schools on the board here, and maybe that's foreshadowing of a matchup we've got next week.
Athens Academy wins the region championship over Raven County. I heard that was a fantastic game. Shout out Josh Alexander and his crew coming in to win the region. That gives them, if I'm correct, that means Athens Academy is off for 3 weeks. They had a bye next week. They get a bye into the playoffs in the first round, so they won't play another game for 3 weeks. All this is new, and people are going to start understanding this. I kind of went through the brackets this week as a nerd and looked at some of that stuff. So shout out Josh Alexander, huge win for region championship. A lot of teams, but next week it's going to be a powerhouse game for us for sure.
Now I know why you weren't answering any of my calls this week. You were going through brackets.
It's a bad day when I'm printing off brackets.
All right, let's talk about our matchup we got next week. Prince Avenue, Hebron Christian.
Yep.
You've been waiting on this one.
Yeah, we circled this one a long time ago. Myself and IJ Rosenberg, listen, this is what we take pride in at Score Atlanta, Peachtree Network, our entire team from the start. It doesn't matter what level you are. If we feel like it's a good enough game and you've earned the right to be on TV, we're going to put you on TV. This is 2 of the best private school teams in the state of Georgia. This has got D1 players all over the field, both well coached. Right now, it's the number 2 ranked team versus number 3 ranked team in the state. It's going to be a huge atmosphere next week. A lot riding on this game. Congratulations to both of those teams as they get opportunities to showcase their programs to the entire country.
And you can tune back in with us next Friday at 8 o'clock to watch this matchup. But this is our high school Hall of Fame weekend. We've got another event tomorrow night,
Man.
College Football Hall of Fame. This is a great group.
I'm telling you right now, you sit there with Leonard Pope and Alec Ogletree, and I can't tell you what you were sitting with. Alec Ogletree, in my opinion, one of the top 10 players to ever play in the state of Georgia. I got in my career early in 2008. He was probably the number 1 player in the country that didn't play quarterback, and kind of a circle moment for me to see you sitting there with Alec Ogletree. I can't wait to see all those guys. Bill Mayo from Dalton, really good to me early in my career. And I'll tell you this, Coach Mayo, he was the first one ever to call me about Jahmyr Gibbs, and he was right. Jahmyr Gibbs starring for the Detroit Lions. So I look forward to all this, relationships tomorrow. I saw it in IJ's. IJ tonight had that extra juice to him.
Mm-hmm.
He's excited about tomorrow night. It's going to be a fun event. And guys, you can still get tickets.
Yeah.
I mean, it's one of the most fan-friendly events there is. You can go down, see these guys, pictures, autographs. They'll talk to you. Go to scoreatlanta.com, get tickets tomorrow night, Georgia High School Football Hall of Fame at the College Football Hall of Fame in Atlanta.
All right, with that, the excitement's on. We'll see you guys tomorrow night at the College Football Hall of Fame for the High School Football Hall of Fame induction ceremony. I'm Kelly Mansell with Rusty Mansell, Brandon Adams, IJ Rosenberg, Roddy White, Ashley Carey, and so many others. We wish you all good night.